Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Thirsty Thursday. Let me turn some of the lights on here a little bit more so we don't look like we're quite... I turned the lights down a little bit so that way it would be a little ambient, you know, a little bit nicer and stuff in here, because I don't want the old bright lights, but maybe I need to turn them up if I'm going to use this camera. So let me see.
I texted Mark last night. He didn't have sound on one of his videos.
Oh, here we go.
How I know?
Here we
go.
go.
Actually watched it.
I actually watched it.
Here we go. They're talking about me already.
I was telling you about that you didn't have any sound, and I know because I watched your video.
And I was being the instigator.
You were just telling me that I'm an idiot. Just admit it. Just say, look, Mark Holmes, you're a freaking
I'm trying to help you out.
Okay.
I didn't want you to leave it up there for any. You had 3 likes, so that tells me they're not even watching.
No, actually, there was like 700 views on it. But you know what? I'm thinking that people probably like this. Like, you know what? We just don't want to hear what he has to say.
I might just put it on mute from now on.
He looks smart, and we don't have to listen to him.
Okay, are you drinking? Mark looks smart? Okay, now I know there's something wrong with you. I actually did a video, and I did at you. I don't know what that does when you at somebody.
Yeah, I watched it. Didn't you see my comment?
I did. Here's the thing, man. It's like Facebook.
4 minutes long.
I hit and run, okay? I came off the roof from painting the front of the house and things, and we're trying to get everything out of the room downstairs so we can sand that out, because found out that we're going to have company for Thanksgiving.
I heard you had a big...
Oh, geez. It's like, okay. So, I'm painting on the outside of the house, and now I'm, and it's like, oh, we got to do the floors down there. So we're getting a sanding machine. So I'm just running around, and I was sitting there because I didn't realize that Anthony Barr was still out on the streets.
Wow.
And I remember how excited we were last year. I mean, it was less than a year ago. We do need some help at linebacker.
That's true. You're not wrong.
Right?
Yeah, and here we go. We're getting ready to kick off. The Bears are receiving in the color rush, but my initial response was no, but I keep hearing that Van Der Esch may not come back this year.
Yeah,
so
maybe never. At this point, with Leighton Van Der Esch, you have to start saying how many times is he going to get his neck broken, that he's going to keep coming back. You can't do that very often. And it's not like Peyton Manning, who got his vertebrae fused. Quarterbacks don't get touched like a linebacker. Linebacker has to use his head and shoulders, and that's one of those things that at some point you got to start saying, I want to play for the Cowboys, but I also want to be able to walk and pick up my kids.
My baby.
Yeah,
do whatever. Yeah.
Let me say shout out. Can I shout out my ladies over here? I got Joanne Gonzalez. What's up, JoJo? Actually, let me get my Barry White voice. We got Angelica Barone. What's up, Angelica? We got Regina Green in the house. What's up, Regina? We got Stacy Schubert, also known as Roland's Review. What's up, Roland? And, of course, we have the lovely and talented Linda. What's up, Linda? How you doing? All right, I think I got. If I didn't get you, post another comment here.
Gina, how are you?
Oh, and then we've got the Gina Dallas Diva. What's up, Diva? All right, so here's the reality, okay? There's not a lot of people out on the street that are there that can really help you, okay? We got Martavius Bryant, who hasn't played in 5 years.
Sue? Dominic Sue, Linville Joseph. They're still out there.
Right, they're still out there.
Did you see my video yesterday? Oh, I know you're busy, Mark. You know who came out and said that he's ready to join a team for the playoff push?
I saw that. I can't remember whom.
Are you down with JPP?
Oh, yeah. Mister.
You know me.
I used
I'll take his 3.5 fingers.
You know what? Here, I want to say something that was scary, okay? when I first started doing Joe Boo, I originally did like straw figures, and all that for Washington, the Giants and all that. So it was straw with the jersey on them and things, right? And I had taken the day before the 4th of July, because we were going to be playing the Giants, first in the season or something like that. And I put it on a couple of bottle rockets and launched it out there and blew it up. And it was that night that he blew his hand off. I was like,
crazy.
Whoa. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that shit anymore. I was kind of like, I don't know. But I don't know that JPP is what we really need. I mean, linebacker, I think, is more of a need.
Pass rushers. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you can if you're Stephen Jones. That's the thing that kills me.
This linebacking situation has not changed. We knew about Leighton prior to the trade deadline, and he chose not to do anything other than go out and get Rashad Evans, who, as I stated with Phil, his first impression in a Cowboys uniform is horrendous. Cost us that 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. It's
as we look back, I swear that any given Sunday, the inches we need are everywhere. And you think about the ball being kicked out of bounds. You think about that penalty. You give the Eagles the ball on the 40-yard line. 20 yards, they're in field goal range. You can't do that kind of thing. Those are some of the inches that kill you. But, this thing that the Cowboys always think that we've got enough. I want some backups. I don't care if you're paying a guy who's good to sit on the bench. If I need him, I'm going to be happy about it.
Yeah.
I don't know why we keep getting fooled by guys that are injured and sign them to big contracts, and then we're surprised that they need another year before they're ready to really be back up to speed. Why is it that always a surprise?
Yeah. Phil, your comments?
Sorry, I was doing my fantasy while you guys were
Oh, I thought he was taking a nap. I was like, damn, this mother humper go get something to eat, or what is he doing? He go for a quickie with his wife? I mean,
my bad, man.
Got him.
I realized that none of my guys, I had like a whole team not starting and everything. So my bad.
That's the thing that drives you crazy.
Right now.
Is here it is now. Now they're saying, well, Terrence Steele isn't quite back yet. Did you actually think when he wasn't ready to start training camp that he was going to all of a sudden be able to turn around and be 100%? If you weren't ready to start training camp, that means you were injured.
Thanks, Spice Run.
Like help
Thank
him
you
out.
so
Like
much.
throw
Eagles
a
are
running back
cheaters.
over there, tight end. Blow
12 personnel.
Down. Like,
This morning, I don't know if you saw my video from this morning, which I forgot to make active till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I'm an idiot. But I was going through the numbers because I was thinking about Jalen Tolbert versus Michael Gallup. And the numbers, I don't know if you've looked at the actual numbers for the team. First of all, our second best weapon right now is Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson is averaging like 13.2 yards per reception the last 3 weeks. Jake Ferguson is our number 2 leading receiver right now. Jake Ferguson success rate is, I think, second on the team. Jake Ferguson is averaging like 2.5 yards more per catch than Brandon Cooks. Now, how the hell does that happen?
To show you what would have happened if Dalton Schultz was on this team, and so the fact that you can move away from Dalton Schultz and now you're finally getting a chemistry with a guy like Jake Ferguson, and it's very very soon. You expected it to happen, but the fact that when you hear Jake Ferguson talk about the touchdown that he had against the what was it, I want to say it was the Chargers. I'm not even sure anymore. He just saw the coverage. It was leaning more towards CeeDee Lamb. So as soon as he saw that coverage, it was the one where he made the one-handed catch. He brought it in with one hand and he caught it through. But it was that one where he was talking about the coverage. He goes, as soon as he saw it, he knew where that Dak was coming to him with the ball. And that's great, man. That's that means you're understanding what you're facing, and the fact that you could be on the same page But I don't know if you've seen it, but the statistics, when he's on the field compared to when he's not on the field, even if he's
Yeah.
drawing
Yeah,
coverage,
I
that's
did
got to
see
be a
that.
big thing too.
I did see that.
Yeah, but I mean, when we look at, Tony Pollard, again, another guy coming back from injury, and now you end up increasing his role. So it's bad enough he came back from injury. You increase his role, and you're trying to fit a square peg, actually a rectangular peg, in a tiny round hole. And you've kind of destroyed him. We're only rushing 3.9 yards a carry. But you then think about CeeDee Lamb is actually on pace right now to get the single season Dallas Cowboy record for yardage, which is crazy because you think of how many games we were talking about CD,
Right. He was
didn't have
upset
50
on
yards,
the
right?
Sideline. Yeah.
He's got 824 already.
Looking at the Giants defense,
He might get the record this weekend.
he's gonna. If they let's put it this way, if they put him in the slot at all this week, he's literally gonna have 250 yards receiving. I'm telling you, they cannot stop him. This Giants secondary with the rookies, we ate them up in a driving rain. The game I was at in
Yeah.
New York. 40-0,
And we're at
like
home.
I was telling Phil, I said, you watch. Dallas will give up a touchdown. We'll be down 7-0, but the final score will probably be 50-7, something
Well,
like that.
Dak has been on a tear at home.
Yeah, I expect this to, look good, but who knows, man? I mean, every time I look at that 1-8 record for the Arizona Cardinals, I get annoyed because we're the one, and I don't want to look back, but. That's the game. We're right where I thought we would be. We're one game behind. I thought we would be 6-2.
That Arizona game definitely is the one.
Yeah, so
But-
that's
Jake Ferguson, I'm amazed. Oh God, you missed him wide open.
he was wide open.
But Jake Ferguson, the success rate with him is 60.5%, which is second on the team. What's scary is the fact that we've been using Michael Gallup as much as we have. He's had 38 targets, only come down with the 22 times. He has the lowest success rate at 47.4.
The same game, because damn, that was awesome.
But here's what's crazy. I want you to think about this for a second.
I don't know why it was.
Jalen Tolbert has only had 15 targets, but he's come down with the ball 10 times.
Yeah.
He has, believe it or not, the highest success rate on the team. Think about that, okay? Okay, he's got about a third of the same passes as,
David Cowboy, Noah Brown went off.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
well, if you look at it, I mean, it was like, series of Cowboy people, like, or X.
Yeah, the top five were all like Cowboys.
Schultz was even
Twiz wants to know why we're not activating Deuce Vaughn. I think he's going to have his time, but I think they realize with this offensive line, they're not going to be able to run the ball. Honestly, I think you just scrap it. I think you pass to set up the run.
I think it's fresh legs for later.
Let me say hello
Wow, that would be
to the Queen. Queen
Keep them ready for like
Bella.
head push,
What's up, Queen?
fresh legs. And
Got the raid here for
guys
you.
there. I mean, think of Jalen Brooks. I think if he would be just game planned into anything, one game, all of a sudden you would just see him tear up the league. But it just really depends on who they want to get into that spot. CeeDee Lamb is a great one. At least he's really taking advantage of his opportunities, not dropping them like Gallup. I want to see Tolbert compared to Gallup. That's my
That's to me. You look at those numbers. If you got the highest success rate, if you are not dropping the ball, and the guy who's in front of you is dropping the ball, is not catching it, does not seem to have it, you got to start playing him more. You have to. The other thing that you have to start thinking about too, especially with, like you just said, problems with the offensive line, 12 personnel, baby. You need to, you're going to need to put somebody over there to help out Terrence Steele when we're going against big boy pass rushers.
He found a lot of success there, and that would exactly help because you can go ahead and run one of those other tight ends out while even if you just hold that tight end and then that first tight end clears it out, he can, now release and go into the flat. And so, I mean, there's a lot of ways to attack with those guys. And then you still got the tight end on the other side. Like, I like it.
Yeah.
And it isn't like these tight ends haven't proven that when they're all three on the field, they can do some damage. It's when they individually are on there, like when Schoonmaker's your main tight end, he just hasn't performed well.
But he blocks well.
Pressure. Blocks amazing.
He blocks well, and that's where you look at it and say, okay, he is my blocking tight end and, secondary tight end target. But Jake Ferguson, you need to definitely keep using him and develop him. You look at most of the really great teams out there, and this is where I think the Eagles are going to be hurting a lot more than they think. Dallas Goedert is a big part of opening up things for the other guys and having that Vervifo.
4-6.
I hadn't heard how well he's going to injured reserve, which means he's out for the Cowboy game. You got to be out for those 4 games, so that's a minimum. And usually, if you put somebody on injured reserve, you're thinking it's going to be more than 4 weeks. Because remember when Dak broke his thumb, they were hoping that it wasn't going to be that. Just in case we can bring him back sooner. And if it wasn't, they wouldn't be, because this is that rough stretch that they have, and they need all hands on deck. So it definitely. Probably will be more than that 4.
David Cowboy says, isn't that why they drafted Schoon? Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, like when we drafted Jake Ferguson, I was excited because it was just like this offense was just designed for a tight end like that. And obviously, when I used the second round pick, I wanted to use it on totally different position.
What's up, Kel
but when
Money?
you have when you look at his body work in college compared to Jake Ferguson,
No, I'm not going to Pinks tonight.
There is way more potential that his ceiling's going to be a lot higher. That doesn't mean that he'll have a better career, because Jake Ferguson is definitely fallen.
But tight ends though take some time before they get. It usually takes a few years for them really to get good. You very rarely have tight ends that come out the box and they're ready to go.
Yesterday, Mark, and I was talking about the Schoonmaker play at the goal line. That's why it was interesting that I saw your video today, basically talking about the same sort of thing. I'm kind of confused on the rule, but let's say. This is just a hypothetical. I was talking to the people today on my lunch. Let's say he catches the ball, right? His knee goes down, right? He reaches for the goal line and fumbles. Don't you have to have...
You're explaining exactly... Yes, you're explaining exactly what they did, what Mike Farella did, and Sims, which are never on Cowboys side.
I didn't see that. I just happened to be thinking, like, after I saw the replay again the next day, I'm like, well, hold up. I thought the ground, you have to hold on to the ball.
You do. And see, this is the problem. And it's not going to change it. What will happen is the rule will change. It doesn't matter. The Cowboys always get screwed, and it changes the rule just like the catch, no catch. But you are 100% right. So when your knee touches down, the ball, wherever it is considered dead. But if you're going to the ground and the ball bounces out, then it's an incompletion. So the ball really isn't dead. So that's where there's this gray area where they're like, it's the rule, but if he had dropped the ball, on the ground, then it's still live as he's going through. So it should be when the ball finally stops and touches the ground and the catch is completed, which does make sense.
And like, let's say you catch it in the corner of the end zone, you tip your toe, you start falling to the ground. Your feet are out of bounds, but you have to still continue the catch. Same way as like that. And
to the ground.
Totally get what I get, what Brian, I totally understand on this is, okay, so the ball, before the ball gets there, his knees are down. And this is not a Dallas thing. I'm talking more about football in general.
It's
this
not.
Should be a thing.
Yeah.
Now, if you've gone to your knees because of somebody's tackling, whatever it is, you're on your knees. Your knees become your feet now, and like you're kind of like you're bringing it in, and you have to have that in bounds kind of thing.
That's
so
where
it's
I was saying.
that, so you follow the ball, go through. It's just.
I'm sure they'll look at it in the off season. Now that it's kind of happened to the Cowboys.
On the competition committee, it'll all be taken care of.
Right after the fact, after we get screwed.
We already had Jerry Jones saying how he loves the tush push. Well, that's because you can't stop it. So what are you gonna say? You look like a chump if you want to get rid of it. So
Jerry Jones has no problem looking like a chump. Okay.
yeah, I know, but that's why he knows. He goes, nah, we got to get rid of it. They'll be like, well, you know what they'll say? Just stop it. But
Yeah, there was definitely pass interference, but I mean, you got to get past it.
And that's the other part.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And that's the thing. This is the other part that's ridiculous, though, too. When you review a play and then you see something else that you totally missed, you should be able to. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and he's in there.
No, but I'm.
Oh, there's a.
Yeah, I'm talking about what you're saying. I didn't even see that. What you're saying makes just all the sense in the world. Why is it that you can't review a play? I know it's a slippery slope,
Okay.
but you've already went down this road. You see an egregious, let's just say you're reviewing a catch, no catch, and you, in doing so, you see an egregious face mask that is
Right, that you missed.
I mean, if and this didn't happen in a Cowboy game, so don't tell me I'm trying to I'm not even talking Cowboys. I'm just saying in general, if you see something,
Because think about it this
then
way.
freaking call it. You're calling a holding on the opposite side of the field on a kick return that has no bearing on the damn kick return.
Right.
You're going to call a ticky-tack outside gun or hold on the opposite side of the field, but you won't review something that comes across your, there should be something in place. That's all.
So,
Sorry.
but think about this though. When there was the face mask or the hands to the face, where they threw a flag, and then they talked about it, and then he picked it up. So how is that different than if I'm looking at a clip, and I do see that egregious? I mean, damn, we really screwed the pooch and missed that. You should be able to say, you know what, we really missed that call.
Yeah.
Let's fix this. But they don't.
Yeah, I mean,
They don't.
know.
Linda, I think the Giants still mind losing because it's better draft pick.
I think you should be able to review. Not that McCarthy reviews anything, really. The only thing he reviews is when it's a desperate situation when it has no chance of being overturned, it seems like. He says it was too early in the game to review that Jalen Hurts was marked 2 yards
Never
further
too early
down
for a
the
big
field.
play.
Yeah, okay, so what happened on that drive, people? A penalty, and then they end up getting the 7 points. Maybe they don't go for it. It would be 4th and 3 at your own 30. Maybe they punt the ball.
Logan Motorsports, all I'm hearing is excuses.
We're not talking about Dallas, Logan. Wow.
Talk about football.
Don't piss me off today, Logan. Take your win and your week off and be happy, okay? Go someplace. Damn.
I was lighting up your room the other day, man, because I was walking.
What, do you have a lot of beans?
No, it was a lot of. I said winning protocols only at the Joe Boo household.
Okay.
Oh, he's calling you out on your shit, man.
No, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. I was lighting him up, man. I was frustrated.
Well, we have the trolls, the cockroaches that just love to just come through and make you suffer. But it's okay.
And I
Flag
wasn't
down.
talking about that game. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Traxler. Like, just in general. Like when we're talking about stupid rules and my opinion, like push, I don't like the play, but whatever. Not Eagles related. It's just I don't like the look of the play. But they've totally screwed over the kick return. The odds of getting an onside kick now with the new rules.
Oh, it's impossible.
They gotta
Slim
do
to
that
none.
XFL thing where at least you get to go for like 1st and 25.
They're killing the game. They're over officiating the game. You should sign a waiver when you come to the NFL. Like I was telling everybody today. You want to stop concussions? Put on a damn leather helmet. Now, I'm not saying I want to watch people
Really
in leather
bad,
helmets,
Murphy.
but they ain't going to leave with their head if they don't have
10 by the end. Like
You
by
know?
the end, I think it was like 10 to like 3, and then all of a sudden at that last little area, that's what happened. It was like when they were already up by 10. So it was in the end, yeah, they can look down at their thing and go, okay, let's even this up now.
Liverman, every time I see the the all 22, and I see Brandon Cooks just wide open over the middle.
I mean, you got to be
Walks
as a
into the
Eagles
end zone.
fan upset that they let the
Walks
other
into
team
the
get
end zone.
back into the game with the penalties that they were calling. We were still seeing that as well. We were calling it out, going, no, man, we don't want these ticky-tack things that you're calling. I mean, it was happening the other way around. We've seen it throughout the whole NFL. But this is officiating.
You know it's bad,
pretty
Mark, when
What's
Eagle
that?
fans are telling me that Bradbury stinks. And, yeah, I don't know if you heard Big Play Slay. I actually like him off the field. He's a good dude. Him and Dak are really tight. Did you hear what he said about
No.
when Dak dove and he got helicoptered?
Yeah. No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, like if you get a chance, looks Darius Slay. He was asked, and he's like, he knows Dak. He goes, he could tell because I think he played with Dak in college.
Yeah, Mississippi State.
Yeah, he could tell that Dak was getting ready to run.
Yeah.
So he goes, oh shit. He thought that Dak was gonna run over him. And then when Dak
Went up.
the air, he's like, oh hell no, he ain't gonna try and jump over me, is he?
Mm-hmm.
And damn it, like if he didn't. And then when Dak was getting up, Slay was like, yo bro, I'm sorry, but why were you trying to, like, I don't know exactly what he
Well,
said.
the linebacker, it was more the linebacker than anything. It's like,
Yeah.
he wasn't,
And Dak
he wasn't
was
affecting
saying,
any of that play.
yeah, and Dak was saying, dude, I'm trying to score, bro.
Yeah.
And Darius Slay says, that's my guy. That's why he's a great quarterback. This is coming from an Eagle.
Yep.
This is
In the heat of battle.
Yeah, in the heat of battle. They're longtime friends, and that's what cracks me up. All these Eagle fans get all uptight, and most of these guys
Bobby Murphy,
are
if you've ever
buddies
watched
off
any
the
of our
field.
stuff, that's exactly what we've said. So you're stating exactly what we've said. for the past
Cowboys
couple
lost because
episodes.
Dak stepped out at the 2 point. Yeah, that was one of the many
And then
reasons,
Schoonmaker
Bobby.
stepped short of the goal line. Now
Lola.
Everything went your way, Bob.
Hey, Lola in the
Right
house.
back to you. They reviewed it to see who had it under the pile. Who does that? They don't do that. They don't do that. So they did that for you. Like, do you understand that? They don't do that.
But again, you guys won fair and square. I don't know how many times I
It was a
could say.
great game. I just thought, like, just let them battle. That was my whole thing. It
I'm
was
just
such a back
talking in
and forth.
generalities here
Mhm.
with the rules and they really need to stop it at the buffet at these owners meetings and actually get something accomplished.
There
I'm
you
tired
go.
of hearing that they're getting together. Why are you getting together? You're not fixing the game. You're making it worse.
There you
You're
go.
making it worse.
Help me, Rhonda. Miss Buttermilk Biscuits. What's up, Rhonda?
Go for some buttermilk biscuits.
Rhonda, I'm
And
curious
more
how the giant hubby is doing this week. Okay. Oh, boy. Is he not talking to you? Rhonda's husband is a New York Giant fan, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a rough week.
Jerseys at the end. I was like, it means more to us than them. But they still, they get into the rivalry. It's just it's more.
I wonder if Mike is going to have his podcast set up on the sideline. No, I'm just.
He just runs it over. Hey, come over here real quick.
Hey, how
I wanna
are
hear-
you? So
I
how'd you
wanna
like my
interview
play
you.
there?
How did that tackle feel when I just hit you and sacked you, huh? My ribs are kind of hurting and stuff. Yeah, it stung, didn't it? Like,
Y'all got jokes tonight. Well, now shout out to my buddy Greg, who planted a seed in here about the Texas Toast offense. Look, you're like, well, no, just hold on. What if, because you think about the first couple of games, how we didn't do much. First game, we ended up really trying to get the ball to the tight ends, and tight ends did not work out. You see, we haven't really used Brandon Cooks except for about the last 2 weeks. What if this offense, that we've only seen parts of it, that they're evolving it consistently over the season to try and keep people guessing? You start looking at the numbers. As bad as Dak started out the season, his numbers are climbing up the chain real quick all of a sudden. With the 13 TDs, 5 interceptions, right now he's on pace for about 30 TDs and 10 interceptions on the season and about 4,200 yards. But if you look at the trend of what he's putting up now, if that trend continues, you may be looking at about 36, 37 TDs and maybe 5,000 yards passing. And the crazy thing about this is the one thing that Mike McCarthy said he wanted to do, which was running, we can't do very well. So in essence, where they always say, well, we can't put it all on Dak, it's all been put back on Dak. Your offensive line is shit. Your running game is not great.
Yeah.
You really only have one great wide receiver.
Or like dating app, the more he wants it, the more he reeks of desperation, Just when I look at this team, I mean, what happens if Gallup starts catching his passes? What happens if Tolbert starts getting some playing time? What happens if
you stop running,
run game actually starts playing?
Pollard up the middle.
Starts living up to his contract. Like, there's a lot to be said that could be unlocked to make this offense better. So, yeah,
exactly.
I see what you're saying.
I say, yeah, and I agree with both these. I know it's evolving. I just don't buy that they're doing it on purpose.
Oh, no.
Or maybe it's, okay, and here's the other part of it is, maybe it's just taking time to get the guys used to it. Dak Prescott was in the same system for 7 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And so now you got a second year.
Could tell you. I said before the season, well, we'll see how fast we pick guys. The guy, that's an excuse. I'm like, I'm just being honest. Dak has ran the Kellen Moore offense for the most part his whole career, and now all of a sudden we're going to this, and we don't know where it's going. It's not the real West Coast. It's a little this, a little that. What I like
is it not the real West Coast? So when it actually fails, he can just be like, well, that's not part of our scheme,
Well, I know holding on to the ball like Dak did this past game is not really West Coast, but that's how he makes that's how he makes the big plays. If you notice, most of our big plays is when he's rolling out, buying some time for those receivers to
finally get open.
Yeah, and I heard the Eagles fans, and they're right. They were saying that right now, based on the Eagles' health, well, I don't know what it is. They're about as healthy as they're going to be. They're not going to get any healthier, really. They're playing it too deep. And the reason why they're playing a too deep defense against Dallas, because that's what worked. That's what worked against us. Having two safeties deep, keep everything in front of you, make Dak hit that zone in the middle. So that's why they were playing that. But if we can get people out of that, you'll see more big plays. I expect Brandon Cooks to have a big game this week. You guys remember in preseason how unbelievable Brandon Cooks was? We're just not going to him. Him and Dak had a big-time rapport.
Well, maybe he needs to pout like CeeDee Lamb did, and have a sit down with Dak, so that way they get on the same page and say, "Let's get the ball to you."
Always complains at some point. A true number one does. I mean, you don't want it in it, but you know it. If they're not getting the ball and they feel like they can make the difference in the game, you'll see it. And some are a little bit more emotional and dramatic about it, but I kind of want that for my number one.
Yeah.
So Martavius Bryant will be wearing number 17.
Have that part, But I would love him as still in this offense.
It's kind of crazy that how excited Cowboy fans get whenever we sign somebody else. It's always like they're waiting for somebody else to come save us. And so now we got Martavius Bryant. Now everybody's all excited.
I like him.
I like him too, but he's not
ready until next year.
Well, you got people think that we're going to plug him in tomorrow and he's going to be, the best wide receiver we have, in the same way, we got the quarterback, all of a sudden, oh man, we got him. It's like, dudes, come on, man. Let's be realistic here.
Agreed.
Yeah, I want to see him once he gets the lingo down and everything, and he's able to go through training camp. I'm interested there. I don't see a downside to signing him. That's what's nice.
Asman 30, do you work at Pink's or something or other? You done commented that Mark should be going to Pink's after this broadcast. Daggone, what's up with that? Jeez.
Go for it, Lizzie.
Damn, I cooked a couple of hamburgers for dinner. I'm not going to Pink's. Yes, the butt plug
What?
plug him in. What? Angelica? Oh lordy, is
you
this
go. It's
is
getting
this
turned
is this
again.
okay? Do I need to turn down the lights?
Man, Carolina.
It's time to get nasty up in here. I mean, good lord, we're talking about butt plugs now.
Ryan, Dak did not. No, I mean not in a game, Elena. In practice, in preseason, like
Turn on the red light district. Yeah.
red light district. No, in the practice, Elena, in training camp, not in a game. But they were going against our powerful defense. So
I expect a ton from Bryant because Gallup stinks. I don't know that we'll see him playing this year.
he hadn't been in the NFL.
I was like 5 years.
Slow down a little bit.
Come on, man. Mark's point voice. There you go. I would say what you need to do is actually just start playing Tolbert more and possibly doing more 12 personnel.
Yeah.
That's what your running game needs help. 12 personnel could definitely help it.
Looks like you're not healing right.
I love our young receivers. I've been saying it since training camp. What I saw from Jalen Brooks.
What?
He's an ex-Michael Thomas. Eddie B.
Sky High fixed up a fresh, soft, warm bun. What the hell? Eddie B, I just can't say that we're keep waiting on players to come through for us. The Joneses have made it damn easy playing for the boys. No real dogs. Well, I'm not going to say that the players that we haven't played up to their abilities. The problem, and I don't think that's the problem. The problem is you need a little bit extra. When a Leighton Vander Esch goes down,
Yeah.
you've got nothing else. When Michael Gallup still hasn't really healed, and you're not sure Brandon Cooks is still viable.
Bell's doing better than LV was doing.
Marquise Bell is
But-
a real deal.
But it's
He's
really
good.
Clark that's had to take on that role. And
Damon
Clark hasn't
Clark
really
has
done well
been
with that.
disappointing.
Yeah, that's what it is. Is Clark's had to take on that role more,
Yeah.
and it's not there. It's not his role.
Listen, we have a great plan A, but the problem is that plan A in the NFL, if we could keep everybody healthy through the whole season, we would be great. We'd win the Super Bowl. But the problem is when we aren't healthy, we lose a couple players, and we paid so many people so much money, the guys you're going down to are not necessarily good players.
Yeah.
You've got such a drop in production. I mean, Tyron Smith, to his credit, and that's why they're talking about saying, hey, you know what? Maybe we're just not going to practice him anymore. We're just going to go ahead and keep him in bubble wrap all week. We're going to unwrap him on Sunday and hope he can make it through the game.
rough, though.
And then he's got another week to get ready for the next one. So, but
See, I think that's the part of the problem, though, with our offensive line. I don't know if Mark touched on it or if I heard it somewhere else. Sometimes I lose track of where I hear my information from. I think a lot of our problem, and I agree with you with Tyron, but I think a lot of our problem is not practicing enough. So
we do give a
don't
lot of
have
veteran
that-
days off.
Yeah, we don't have that cohesiveness, and we get to the game, and these teams are doing stunts and all kinds of stuff, and we're just not getting the reps in. Terrence Steele's not
J-Rock
hurt.
Philly, what's up?
His feet are a problem right now. His footwork is not good. Where's that come from? Reps. Practice, but it's hard to practice. He's literally only 8 months away from his surgery. So we need to give him a break, but that was the main reason why we lost last Sunday was because of Terrence Steele. And Tyler Biotish, I tell you, he's not 100%. He's that high ankle sprain. He's gotten through it, and I appreciate it, but
But we got some good TJ Bass behind them that could really.
we got
handle
young
that.
guys, man.
Asim Richardson, I
Yeah,
really like
yeah,
him.
yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys I think, but man, if you can just get another, starter up in that offensive line.
you saw Tyron how good he looked. Tyron was dominant in that game.
Not only him, Tyler Smith. The job he was doing on Jalen Carter. They keep talking about Lane Johnson as Micah Parsons' daddy. Well, I tell you what, My man was definitely
I see a lot
Jalen
of
Carter's
holding.
daddy.
I just see a lot of holding on
Yeah,
that
that's-
matchup. As much as it's great, I
can't
give
get
him
away
credit.
from
They're
that.
amazing offensive linemen, but man, a lot.
When you see Michael Parsons freaking out, and then you see the replay of the holds,
I
Yeah.
don't blame him. If he's
it
getting
was
away
just
doing it, do it.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
But yet we're going to call all the penalties. I don't care. Don't call it. Don't call it a hold. But then don't call the other BS.
Yeah.
That's all. Call it. Don't call it. Swallow your whistle.
But
let 'em
you know,
play.
I've been thinking about this though, and you think about how they used to say that Michael Jordan would get, would never get fouled out, that he would never get called that many times in penalties, whereas the other guys seemingly always did. Are we getting the Jordan rules with the Eagles? Because it seems like all season, not just us, we've looked at games and it's just like these things are blatant that you can see calls that they're getting.
They're the new NFL darlings. The Birds.
Yeah, good man. We cannot do that.
Tyron is old. He's not the same player. Well, he is in spots. He's still, when he's healthy and on the field, he's still one of your better offensive linemen, and that's a fact. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't be replaced, but you've got to find somebody to replace him. And we only have so much money to go around and so much desire by the Joneses. Cool G says Jerry needs to put Jimmy in the Ring of Honor. Yeah, well.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Jerry also needs to think about making some trades and signing some better free agents too. But,
Twist. Did he injure his hands or AC? Like I know his hands. Terrible.
Well, that would be great, Elena. Thank you.
That's not the Jordan rules. Okay. Well, the Jordan calls, we'll call it that. How about my JMU Dukes, man?
They're kicking butt, man.
They have, it seems like there's a little bit of momentum to get them into the playoff.
Yeah.
The BCS, and have them bowl eligible. Now, I did not realize
That's a
that
stupid rule.
Well, for 3 years, there's a moratorium
That's
of you.
stupid.
It is.
Because if you're going to be bad, then you're not worried about it anyway.
How crazy is it that in the 2 years that they've been there, they are 15-3? Okay, they're ranked higher than Notre Dame and USC, but they're not bowl eligible.
Right.
How many years?
This is their second year in the.
No. How many years
Come
until
on,
they're
man.
eligible?
Not next year, the year after. The fourth year they would be eligible.
Fourth year.
I try and keep them straight,
Some
Drexler.
conferences has it up to 6. They used to have it, and it was like, man, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Holy shit.
Well, I don't know that anybody's had. I mean, you don't expect somebody to move up conferences, and that would be like going from the USFL and playing the NFL, and now you're a playoff team, and they say you can't play in the playoffs. You don't expect that team coming from there to all of a sudden even be into the situation where you would think that they would need to be in a bowl game. You don't expect that. But they've been 9-0. They've been on a tear.
I try and keep it real. I take a hit, though, too, for that, Drexler.
All right, so now we have rehashed the Giants game and, the Eagles game. We're 15.5-point favorites the last time I saw. Is it still 15.5, or has it moved up some more?
It has moved up to 17.5.
Oh, jeez.
So, we may give up some points, but it won't be much.
They're trying to get that's all about Vegas, trying to get some people to put some money to
I
balance
ain't
it out.
doing it. I would never do it. You can't tell me.
Rivalry games.
It's a divisional game coming off a loss. I could see if we would have went into Philly and won, then maybe you take the points. Because now we're flying high.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's not happening.
That's a lot of points. 17 points. Good God.
Yeah, just think about it, man. But I just look at the final score. I'm looking at a 48-13 type game. So if that's the case, now I'm not I have not tipped my score. I haven't. I'm literally just thinking out loud. I'm going to hone in on it, but something like that. There's no way I could do anything less.
Friday football.
The Giants are horrendous. Oh, look who's in the booth.
They got Prime. Prime has Friday.
Look who's in the booth. Jason Kelsey. Mr. I'm retiring after the season.
Yeah, he was there.
He's going to be in the booth. So, yeah. So we shall see. He might be in a booth. He might be a booth guy.
He might be.
I'd rather see him in a booth than on the center or hiking the ball. Hey, you shout out to him because Travis Frederick always used to beat him out in the Pro Bowl, and then when he had the Gilliam Barr or whatever he had, and he had to retire, and Jason was able to get into the Pro Bowl. So, you're welcome, Jay.
Angelica says, for some reason, I'm seeing that score that high. And it could be, but you just never know with the Cowboys what team will show up.
Bobby,
You know.
we can only play who we play. Just like at the end of the season, you end up at what, Mark? The Giants, Carolina Giants, or some. It's like the last 3 games for the Eagles. So this is your only tough stretch. We're going to win the next 5. I told Mark this the other day. We will win the next 5 games. We will be looking
5?
at, yeah, think about it.
10-3,
We'll be a favorite in each of those games, Mark.
including the Eagles.
Yes, we're going to beat the Eagles at home.
Okay.
And all things being equal, assuming people are there that are there now. Obviously, if there's a major injury or something happens,
And after who do we have after the Eagles?
right. Well, that's when it gets hard. Well, we have this week. We got the Giants.
Yeah,
That's one.
Giants, and then we got Carolina, then we
Carolina.
got Washington.
And then
And
home
then
against Washington. And then our real tough one the following Thursday at home against Seattle. Then home against Philly. This is where four out of our next 5 are at home, and our only road game is at Carolina. So we're going to win the next 5. So that's going to be 10-3. But then we go to Buffalo and Miami in respective weeks. That's why I was telling Mark we need to split those. I'd love to win them both, but so it's all going to come down to that friggin' Detroit game. So let's say we win the next 5. We split Miami and Buffalo. So then we're 10-3. We're 11-4. We're 11-4, right? Is that good? Yeah, right. We're 11-4, and then we have home against Detroit at Washington.
Yeah.
So if you get to 13, I think you have a real good shot. 12, I think you're behind the Eagles. I think we'll lose the tiebreaker somehow, even if we beat them. Seems like they're doing good against the NFC teams, but there's a lot to be played out. I'm just saying,
That's
we're not
true.
out of it. But I think Detroit's going to end up at the 1 seed. So we may be helping the Eagles beating Detroit, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like I made a comment today in my live. You know, I'd much rather go to Philly in a playoff game than go to 49ers. Because somebody said right now we're set to play the Niners.
Yeah, we are.
Really cool play.
I'd rather go to Philly again.
It looked like a pitch.
Who does San Francisco play this week?
Thanks, Rhonda. I appreciate it, sweetie.
I'm trying to remember, who does San Francisco play this week? The rest of their schedule is not
Jacksonville.
bad.
They're at the Jags. That's a tough game.
That's going to be tough.
I would love to see Jacksonville. It's only a 3-point line. I would love to see Jacksonville win the game. I'll be surprised, but we'll see.
It's traveling to the East Coast.
Dak delusional fans with more excuses. Let me see any of you catch a ball thrown behind you while running full speed in the opposite direction.
Dak delusional fan.
Junior.
You're out! Don't you do it! Don't you! I got nowhere else to go! I got nowhere else to go!
Devin Season. Shout out to Devin Season, a channel member, tailgate member for 38 months. Damn.
Wow. Damn.
Hi, Mark. Cowboys going to be all right. Dak's got 275 yards run for 275 yards for run
Rock filled
for
it up.
45 yards. Gina Dallas Diva is back. She's back again. Eagles and 49ers have tiebreakers over us. Beating Lions is critical.
Yeah, that's why I said I could see it happening that way. Mm-hmm. And then I actually think we could beat the Lions at home. It's just that Buffalo at Miami in back-to-back weeks. That's going to be tough. We shall see. It'll be fun.
Definitely will.
I think we're in the playoffs, and I stick by what we said. It doesn't matter. It's all about how you're playing. As much as I want to win the division, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It does not matter. It's how healthy are you and how well are you playing. That's what it comes down to.
Well, here's earlier this week when I came down here, I've talked about the 2010 Green Bay Packers quite a bit, right? Because I've kind of felt like Mike McCarthy was trying to replicate that team. And if you look at Dak Prescott's numbers, where he's headed, he's had, like I said, about 29, 30 TDs, about 4,200 yards, 10 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, that Super Bowl season, was 28 TDs, 11 interceptions, and 3,800 yards. Their defense was second in the NFL. Their offense was 10th scoring. And they were a wild card team. They played on the road in Philadelphia, played on the road in Atlanta, and played in the conference championship with the Bears on the road. And then went to Dallas and beat the Steelers at the Super Bowl. Could lightning strike twice?
Yeah.
Also, too, they didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher either on the team.
What's up, Regina Green?
You're just shaking your head like, yeah, okay. That's got nothing to do with our Cowboys.
Me and Phil were talking about going to the draft, and we said that, are we going to the draft after the Cowboys that were this, just there winning a Super Bowl?
Of course we would.
I forgot that Super Bowl's in Detroit this year.
You mean the draft?
Yeah, but the Super Bowl is in Detroit.
Is it? Again?
That's what Phil said.
Okay.
No, I was talking. I was going on another thing because it feels a little.
So they're not
say
in.
this some scripted kind of thing where they've shown like even the colors of like the Super Bowls and how it's represented the teams that have been there. So they've had the colors out before. So they were looking at it going, does it look like, because the colors is the San Francisco Baltimore Super Bowl, and so then I was just thinking in general, because last year obviously Kansas City won the Super Bowl. We were in Kansas City for the draft. Who would have won the Super Bowl? Would have been Detroit. Is Detroit finally winning something that that team is there?
My bad.
That's being at the draft. So that was kind of my conspiracy theory type of whole thing.
Yeah, they
throw those in there here and there.
That would work out great, because then of course you could have the post Super Bowl party and stuff. But if that happened back to back, it's kind of like, wait a minute here, hold up,
man. I seen this episode.
Hell nah.
Oh man, they're trying to pass it off as a special.
Yeah. That would be. But if you're a conspiracy theorist, if it's all about making money, you'd want the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. It would be so much money made on that Super Bowl. It would be they would print money for that Super Bowl. I don't know.
We shall see, man. There's a long way to go here. Long way to go. There's not many great teams, and the Eagles are the best record. And we took them to the wire. They didn't get anything. Every bounce. I'm okay with that. I don't want to see the Niners. That's who I don't want to see. Mm-hmm. So just keep me away from the Niners. So.
Yeah. I have to agree with you.
It would be nice to say we'll get our revenge, but I don't know that I trust it.
It would be nice, but you know what? I'd feel better playing the Eagles, but that's just me.
Let's play the Birds again for a third time.
All right. So, thoughts on this game here we're watching?
Nah.
Want to see these
Nah.
Yeah, it's a Thursday night football. They're gonna bring Friday night football soon. See that commercial? The Prime's gonna have Friday night football.
Well,
Lordy.
that's when we get to the
Back-to-back
holidays.
headers.
They start doing that Friday
Thursday,
and
Friday, Saturday,
Saturday
Sunday,
stuff. Yeah.
Monday.
Are you
take a
streaming
break
on
on.
Thanksgiving, Mark?
I will be here at the Red Brick House. I will
you
be
have a lot of
cooking
people.
Thanksgiving dinner. And I think I'm going to be getting a big sub and making it like a Thanksgiving leftover sub. So we'll put some turkey and some sweet potatoes and some cranberry sauce on there and some baked beans and gravy, some stuffing. And because I did that last year or the year before? I know I did it. Yeah, I think I did last year.
Streaming because I'm here smoking a couple turkeys. And
Finish meat.
Well, the nice thing is I've got the kitchen right next door to the living room down there.
I'll
So
probably be streaming the game. Not all the games, just the Cowboy game. I don't know. We'll play it by ear, but at least the Cowboy game.
yeah.
We'll be doing that. So.
Oh, we definitely will be. I got
Because I'm off Thursday and then my weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm off for 4 days. That'll be a nice party. So I might do it. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, my in-laws are not doing well health-wise. So
Oh, sorry to hear that.
yeah, they're not. I hate to say it, but hopefully a couple months is what we have left. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's not good. So my kids will be over there, but I'm making the food and my wife's gonna bring it over there for them. So I'll be here manning the smoker. So I'll be here. I'll probably be streaming. Sucks. This is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay.
Looking at right now, I'm just looking at the offensive line for Carolina Columbus and Potatoes. Pull the pocket for a moment, but
I said I'd rather play you, Elena. I don't know that we're going to beat any of this, but I'd take my chances with the Eagles. The defense is leaking oil, Elena.
If we could only put together all phases every week, special teams, defense.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you were saying that we save it. I don't think we're saving anything, but I think we can only get better. You figure we lost arguably our top 2 defensive player, and we're finally starting to be able to piece it together. And you
two
see,
really good ones.
yeah, I think we. Our defense is good. We just gotta hopefully get a little healthier at the linebacker position. And the Marquis
Anthony Barr.
Yeah, well, if that's what it is, it is. He sucked last year.
He did, but he was coming off an ACL injury. And what have we learned about ACL injuries and players that when they come back, straight back?
Roby doesn't look good, boys. I'm just sorry. He doesn't. He was on the straight for a reason, man. Just like Martavius Bryant. Don't expect a lot out of Martavius. He hasn't played in 4 years. If anything else, he'll give you a Debo Samuel / A.J. Brown look in practice because he's 6'4" and runs a 4.4.
It just reminds me of like
see.
a Plexico Burst type.
Yeah, but I mean, it reminds me of a Debo type where he's a thick-bodied guy. He'll give you a look in practice. If he gives you any more than that this year, that would be great.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I think you beat the Niners, Bobby. I think Eagles beat the Niners in 2 weeks. I think the Eagles lose the next 2 and beat the Niners.
That would be nice.
See how the Niners handled Jacksonville. I mean, they haven't looked great, but with the bye week and everything,
I think they lose in Kansas City. They lose at home against Buffalo, and they beat the Niners and bounce back.
Well, Kansas City's offense has been having some problems. I mean,
They have, and Eagles can win.
and their defense has been playing, making up for it.
But if we can go up and down the field on the Eagles, I would think that the Kansas City Chiefs will be able to go up and down the field. And I trust Kansas City to get the ball in the end zone when they're at the 6-yard line with 21 seconds left to go. So what do you guys think of this Bears color rush? I think the helmet is butt ugly.
I'm not crazy about it. Not crazy about it at all.
Holiday.
I like the black bear
peanut brand
helmet.
or whatever.
Yeah. So what's your Mark? What's your pie of choice at Thanksgiving? If you had to have a pie, a piece of pie. what's
The
your
only pie I ever want is my mama's lemon meringue pie. Oh my God.
My little one.
It is to
little
die
one's
for.
6 foot, but he loves lemon meringue pie. Yeah, my wife always makes pumpkin. I'm not the biggest pumpkin guy. I mean, I don't dislike it. It's just that I like a good pecan pie. A little pecan pie. A little apple pie, homemade apple pie. Heat it up. A little chocolate cream pie. I know, right? Hamburger. Yeah. The key is the stuffing. And we use my mother's recipe where you put the Italian sausage and stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. The Italian recipe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bears are still hanging in this thing, although both teams are ass-ass, so I don't know why I'm saying they're hanging in this thing.
We're playing them.
Oh
so.
man, that 2-17 is losing to that 1-17.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we're literally watching paint dry.
If you're
They're sitting there going, oh my God.
If you're prime, are you upset? I mean, you got to be mad. You pay all this money, right?
Hey, but you're the new person, so it's just like, here, you get these. You know, like if you come into
But I'm
playing the
putting
game,
my money
you're
up.
gonna get the leftovers.
I'm the only game going.
Hold on, wait, you're complaining. You got an account. Your wife has an account. You got 2 accounts.
I know.
So why are you complaining? Just get rid of one of them, and you're not really worried about the extra money.
I don't care. I'm
So
talking
Brian,
about
he's saying it's your
Bezos.
fault that they got these boring ass Thursday nights because you got 2 accounts.
I guess.
No, I'm not he's not saying that.
No, he's hiding all.
helping
He's
the
hiding
cause,
all the
man.
things that he's buying. Okay.
Listen, man. It's not that I'm hiding it. It's just a lot of stupid shit. Cord. I got a cord for every possible thing you could use. Just Amazon's
Something
the
about
best.
ordering something and getting it there almost the next day.
That's pretty.
Sometimes that afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
we've had.
last monitor, I ordered it, and I woke up, got my coffee, and it's sitting at my door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
like
it was kind of
4
cool
a.m.
last
and 8
night.
a.m. That's beautiful.
Tracy had ordered some stuff to be delivered here, and I was actually outside.
I saw
I
you
was
were
like,
out
oh,
doing your
okay.
thing.
Now, don't
Yeah, I
let the
watched
post
it.
office have to deliver because I got to put a mailbox out here now because the mailman can't stop off on the porch.
Just make sure you put a big box, please.
Yeah, be nice.
I don't want a big mailbox out there. What, are you kidding me? Jeez.
Because you don't want your packages to be stolen. What they're going to do is have to get out of their truck and walk all the way up and put your package on your porch.
They
And
wouldn't.
it's a little sketch. If you have a big mailbox, like a big Rubbermaid, something where you can fit a nice sized box in there. Like my mailbox is huge at the street.
That's what
And
she
they love
said.
it because they don't have to get out of their truck. They just pile all the boxes in my mailbox.
Okay. Is it lockable?
No, but, no, not lockable, but it's not sitting out on a porch.
You mean across from Walmart? Are you saying it's not safe?
Yeah, exactly.
And give them, I think they have those apps where you give them the code as well, right?
Yeah. Amazon has those lockers too.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Scanning is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think that so many people are so happy about this house. I think, there's not a neighborhood watch and stuff, but I think people really would just kind of say, don't mess with that house because,
You would think, but
But there's always going to be some asshole out there
the
that would.
holidays, you're right across from the Walmart. There's a nice expensive thing sitting on your porch. That would be a little weird.
Wait a minute. Is something expensive sitting on my porch? We ain't got money, so that ain't going to happen.
Well,
And
if
they
you,
got delivered to the wrong house.
now I know Tracy's ordering some stuff. She always orders stuff, right?
Yeah, but she is frugal, man. She gets a lot of stuff.
Not when it comes to stuff around the house. She ain't. She's frugal with your stuff.
No, she looks for bargains.
She wants what she wants.
She looks for bargains.
She's high end.
No, actually, she's not.
I'm joking.
That's
Poking the
definitely
bear.
one thing I can say is she does not waste money. She can't stand. In fact, she's usually clocking me like, "Why are you wasting money on that?"
That's what I just said. And then she orders two vanities.
You just can't buy her the gift from Amazon then if you have the same account.
Right. That's why I don't like the same account.
Don't bother me none.
If you're the same bank account.
The only problem I have is when I have to go on it and I don't remember what her login information is. If it's not automatic to just turn on, I'm screwed. So that's my biggest problem.
10-6. Wow. We got ourselves a barn burner.
It's a game now.
We got an ass game.
Oh, snap.
Sexiest man alive, Kelsey? Are you kidding me? Okay.
Wow. We've really dropped off.
Is this like the person that gets voted in to the homecoming?
You are the weakest
wants to be
link.
nice.
Amazon's expensive when you can share one account and get the same benefits. Yeah, I know. I'm dumb, woman, man. Go ahead. Pile on.
Doing all that.
But now Amazon isn't always the best price for stuff. You know that, right?
It's not, right?
You're actually sometimes it's actually quite a bit more than what you would get it, but it's the convenience that you get.
I've noticed like the food products on Amazon are more expensive. Like certain things, like I'll get some Duke's mayonnaise, and it's you can get it, but it's
Actually been blessed by a Duke. So.
Yeah. I don't really like Duke's mayonnaise that much.
Cowboys fans wanted Hurts to be hurt so bad. What? Where did that come from, man? Why isn't he on the injury report? And it's not about wanting him hurt. There's rules that say you have to disclose your injury. Now, I could give two fits. I know he's banged up. Look at him. You don't have to report it.
Yeah, actually you do.
No, I'm saying, in my opinion, I could care less if you report it.
Isn't that called marriage game time? Oh, shit. Yes,
that?
Isn't
that called marriage game time? Yeah, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I had, this is I'm probably bored the heck out of you guys, but I had the most incredible experience today. There was a guy who came by here over the summer, and he was telling me about his reclaimed wood place that's, here in town. And I had forgotten about it till, woke up this morning and my wife was saying, "What about shutters out front?" And I was like, making shutters for out front, ones that would actually close. And I'm like, that hardware is going to be expensive. And I said, then making it and stuff. It's like, I ain't got any kind of wood. And so I looked up the price of Western cedar, and it's like $30 for a 1x6. I'm like, damn. So I'm like, that's going to cost quite a bit. And she was like, well, it'd be nice to make it out of reclaimed wood. And so I remembered about this guy. And so I looked it up, and it turns out it's only like a mile away from here. And I never knew it existed, but it's like an old, like 1920s big warehouse where they used to actually make old stoves and stuff.
You had a little wood going to look at wood.
Oh no, it's some serious wood. They go through and they take down old places and they reclaimed all the wood. Oh my God, the wood was beautiful and stuff. And he's like, he's like 77 years old. And, he's at the point where he's trying to pass the business off to his niece and things like that. And he's been here and he's like, I love what you do. And I'm just like going crazy with all this reclaimed wood. And so I'm going to be getting some more wood from him to make my shutters and to do some other things. But they had this stove. Back before the 1920s, all those stoves were basically wood burning stoves. So there's a stove he's got in there that is like one of the first electric stoves.
Wow.
And Hot Point actually ended up making and matching up this stove that was actually produced here in Waynesboro, because there was Virginia metal crafters that used to make all this stuff, which is like a historic place. And he's got this stuff, and it still works. And he was like, he said, I could see something like that over there, like in a place like yours. And I was like, yeah, I could take the sunroom and make that like a butler's pantry and put that sucker in there. But it was just really cool looking at all this different old wood and everything else in this old building. The ceiling in this place had to be 40 feet tall. And it's all these giant, like 10 by 10 trusses that are put together that are just, tongue and groove, that are just unbelievable. It was just beautiful. I know. We're watching football and you're talking about wood.
Limmerman
You know your
says
wood.
serious hardwood from a guy that knows wood.
That's right. The ladies like to talk about wood. They say wood is beautiful.
Elena Walker says the rule is if you don't come out of the game or do not practice, you don't have to report an injury. Yeah, like I said, I could care less, but people seem to be worried about it. I could see that the guy is not 100%. He's cutting through
I'm
it.
just saying, he's limping to the point that if he had a handicap sticker on his car and he parked, and he got out and walked,
They wouldn't
I would
question it.
him being
Yeah.
in the handicap spot.
This is true. Very observant.
Well, the roof right now is green just on that lower section. The top main part of the house is silver and always was originally, and the back roof is silver too. And so
Why are you having so many people over there?
it's family.
Because it used to be a school, Brian.
Somebody said that, my studio up here looks like a school. It's like every time I watch it, I think it's like I'm in school.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, it was a school. So I guess that's
You
a
got the
compliment.
projector. You got one of those projectors.
Oh, man.
I bet you got a protractor laying around.
Here's how old I am. I remember when we used to actually have projectors to watch film of practice. Okay.
What's that, Phil?
The ones used to count with the little beams, used to stroll them across.
Oh, yeah.
Did I see that short with the Hertz fans? No, I didn't see that one. What happened to that, Gomez?
Atticus?
My father was a carpenter, always went
Like
with
something.
refinished grades of wood. Linda, yeah, I knew it was something I liked about you, Linda.
What's that?
But that her father was a carpenter. But it was cool going in there because they had, some of the stuff they had in there, they had literally some pieces that are like, 24 by 24. And when you see those old growth antique hard pine boards that are like 18 inches
Crazy,
wide,
isn't it?
those things took like 300 years to grow, and you can't find them except as reclaimed wood. I would love to see our Cowboys go on a 9-game win streak and go 14-3 and then do damage in the playoffs. Chris, I would love to see that too. I would definitely love to see that.
Dallas fan 22 says hardwood is the best to get the job done right. What's up, Thomas?
Mark, were you around when Moses parted the Red Sea? Not quite, okay? But I was there to help build the ark. Hardwood is the best to get the job done right. Black metal's hot. I played in my garage door black, and it was a big mistake. The silver does help reflect the heat.
It's
Kind of funny.
Perfect.
All right, we got 1:54 left in the half of this one.
One of my friends.
If you're either of these two teams, I don't know that I want to win this game. You got to be thinking about the draft.
It's like, I don't know if you ever saw that South Park episode where they're playing like Little League, and they're like, no, you're going to win. No, you're going to win. You're so going to beat us. You're like, trying to throw the games just so they can get the high draft picks.
Thank you, Rhonda. I'm glad you enjoy me talking about old reclaimed wood.
A friend of mine who lives around the corner, she's just got a new roof. And now she needs gutters. And because of you, she's looking for black gutters.
Because of me?
No, because you did the black gutters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I need to do some. I've still got more I got to get. Those round ones are beautiful, but they're not cheap. And unfortunately, well, it's about $5 a foot for the gutter itself. But because there's no wood fascia to put the clips in, you got to get these clips that go on the roof and hold it down. And they're $15 a piece.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like 50. Are you kidding me? And you need one every 3 feet. So
right now, real estate's kind of going. It's. I don't know if it's at its peak right now, but it's probably coming down. But
yeah,
on my route, there's a guy who bought a couple properties. He's redoing one. He's selling it for like, I don't know, like $420 or something. But it's not that big of a house. Maybe 1,800 square foot.
Yeah, it's about the size of
Put
this
in
one.
those black windows. I guess they're special order, huh? Are they? Those like
Yeah.
black with the grids?
Mm-hmm.
I liked them when I put my edition on, but they were too pricey back then.
Yeah, see, this is broke-ass media, so that's why we kept them with the original windows.
No, I know. But I'm just
Now they
saying,
do
black
get a little
windows,
chilly.
you know.
You know, we've had a couple of nights where it was down to like 21. Some of them do put out a bit, you know, leak a little bit around them and stuff, but it'll be okay.
Well, they're single pane, right?
Yeah, the single pane.
Yeah. So
But the thing that's crazy about, like, it was about 78 out here today, is when you open up the windows, the way it flows from downstairs, upstairs, and right on out is just amazing. It is this time of year before it gets really cold, just to have the windows open, it's just amazing. You feel like
that house was really there was a lot of thought put into how it sits with the sun, the breeze. You know, it's almost like the pyramids. You know, when they built it, there was a rhyme and reason why they built it the way they did. It's amazing.
I think it is.
When you look back, you know, 200 some years ago, that they knew.
I'm just imagining how, you know, I've put insulation in this house and stuff. Although once the walls get warm or they get cool, you know, it can be 85 outside, but it's still like 75 inside. And the craziest thing that happened was I was in the kitchen this evening, and the sun's going down. So the way it is in the kitchen, if you actually look from the sunroom, there's a window, and that window lines up with the door into the living room, and that lines up with the window that's out front. And so the sun was going down, and I was in the kitchen, and you could see the sun setting from the kitchen looking through the living room door, through the window, across the porch. And it was almost perfectly lined up to be. And I'm thinking in a couple of days, I could be actually out. It's like the summer solstice or something, you know, it's like Stonehenge that the sun is going to set, and you'll be able to look through 2 windows and 2 doorways and see it set.
National treasure.
Hey, Eddie B, you live in Minnesota?
Oh, yeah, he's up there in the cold. Yeah.
My son just got back from Minnesota. He met a couple friends. He had some online friends. Get a load of this story. My son, he does a lot of online gaming. He's doing the YouTube and all that. But he has like this like circle of friends, and his one friend, who's the youngest of the bunch, is going to college at the University of Minnesota. So a few of them flew out there a couple weeks ago, and they all hung out for the long weekend. And they're sitting there, and you know, this is the first time they've all met in person. Man, they had a great weekend, and they're getting ready to leave. Trevor, you know, my son Trevor's getting ready to go to the airport. And while at the airport, this other kid's father, he goes, "Oh yeah, my dad's sending a helicopter to pick me up." Okay, he's Canadian. Literally, helicopter drops down and picks up my son's friend. He goes, "Yeah, my dad." He said his dad works for a communications company. No, he owns the friggin' communications.
Okay, damn.
So he got into a helicopter and flew from Minnesota back to Canada.
Damn.
But my man, I said, don't lose that friend.
I'm serious, man. That's the kind of friends I'd like to have.
But that's kind of cool. I was like, all right. But he didn't. It's one of those deals where you don't advertise it. You want your friends to be friends with you for the right reasons,
Right.
you know.
Shoot, my friends will say, "Yeah, I'll give you a discount on some of that wood, that old wood and stuff that I've got." He ain't dropping helicopters and picking me up.
You don't work for a communication
Holy
company.
moly! He owns the communication company.
He has to if you're dropping helicopters.
Damn, that's crazy.
But he said it was 27. This was 3 weeks ago. It was 27 in Minnesota. They were right by the local university, University of Minnesota.
Well, you know, it was crazy. I remember going there for the Super Bowl, And we had to be there the week ahead because we were doing stuff at NFL Experience. And when we got there, it was like 40 degrees. I was like, it's not so bad. And are you kidding me? Because I was like, it's Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's always, the frozen tundra and everything.
It's not so bad.
I was like, it's 40 degrees, man. This shit ain't so bad. This is about middle of the week. We saw Eddie and things like that. And he's like,
I am a mailman.
he's like, yeah, it changes though quickly.
What up, Mike? 1, 2, 3. What up, man?
But they had a tram that went over the river to the other side. That was kind of crazy. But by Super Bowl, it got cold. It was like -4 when we left the stadium. And getting to the stadium, they have all the subways. And once you're downtown, you can go through, every building's connected by a tunnel. So you can, literally you don't have to even go outside. But when the game was over, it was like you were just outside and you had to walk to the subway. And it's just like a herd of cattle, and you started getting the icicles hanging off your mustache and shit. I'm like, it's cold. It's so cold. That shit was crazy. I was like, never again do I want to go to a cold city for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Especially one without a dome.
Mark done set the keys
Where
off
is
the
the Super Bowl
panic.
this year, people?
Super Bowl's in Vegas this year.
Oh, Vegas. That's right. Vegas.
That's going to be one expensive Super Bowl.
Yeah. But I think that's a Super Bowl. You don't have to go into the game to have a good time. Just go hang out and then go ahead.
Yeah, of course, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, man.
Go ahead.
Exactly.
You head to an adult bar that has TVs. There it is. That's the way to go.
Well, see, I'm poor.
Rump shaker, baby.
I thought it was something else you were saying.
I tell you what.
Oh, no, I was.
When the Super Bowl, when the Giants were playing against New England, Tracy had a conference in Florida, and I was going to be meeting her there. But the plane tickets to Arizona were like $800. And I was like, that's too expensive. And then I found out the ones to Vegas were only like $200. And so I was like, Trey, I think I'm going to fly to Vegas the day before, and then I'll drive to Arizona through the desert.
Tilton lives in Vegas. We'll go hang out with him.
And I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay. So I was like, I had a night in Vegas by myself, and I was in bed at 10 o'clock like a dumbass.
Yeah, I remember you stopped in Vegas when you went to get your daughter. Is that what you're talking
We did too. No, this was for the Super Bowl. And I put $200 on the Giants to win that Super Bowl straight out. And it turned into $980. So we drove back to Vegas, got my money, and flew back home. So, yeah, that was a great memory.
Yeah.
But the only time I've rooted for the Giants.
What's that, over the Patriots?
Yeah, because I hated the Patriots. And Bill Belichick seems to be on the hot seat right now, even though
Now they're talking Tampa Bay, Washington. You know who's tight with Bill Belichick, don't you?
Who's that?
Jerry Jones.
He's 71 years old, though.
Here we go. They're driving at the end. This is a long first half. The Bears. Since
The
they have
Bears.
all day to throw. Who is quarterbacking?
I'm old enough to remember when they said,
Badgett.
Badgett? Okay.
Zach Baggins.
Okay.
Bill
I'm
Bell.
old enough to remember this when they said Justin Fields and Dak Prescott had the same MVP odds. Now, again, I guess really no chance for either of them. And that guy got all kinds of weapons in the offseason.
Go Birds.
Yeah. Do
Be
you think,
mindful.
Do you think McDaniel goes back to the Patriots? I mean, his sticking out for them. Don't be talking about my.
Yeah, I think
He might not have that as an option then.
You see how that offense is going.
That's one thing about being a coach in the NFL, man. He's done now. He's had his 2 opportunities. He most likely won't get a third, unless it's
College.
Yeah, that's what I would say in college. Or if he's in New England and Bill Belichick leaves halfway through in the season, he would run out the string.
Well,
but-
after they got told off by his old team, he probably played TV or something.
Yeah, right.
So they don't yell at him.
Bobby Murphy says, "Imagine being a Giants fan right now." Yeah, I'm
You mean like Rashid? You mean with the bag over his head?
Probably wonder why he came back to YouTube because it's been miserable. I wouldn't be happy, but just look at it this way. Look at it this way. At least you know that the NFL draft will be exciting. That was the one thing when we finished. Remember, we had the injury,
Yeah.
the Dak year where he had injury. We had a top 5 pick. That was cool. So the draft is more exciting when you're
picking high.
Last year, Eagles had 2 top. Yeah, they had a number 10, and they had 2 first-round picks. That's of course it's fun, So
I'd be okay with the boring draft if we were winning some shit.
yeah,
I think I could.
32. Yeah,
That was a hold.
they got the pop pimple look.
Frank Wright.
He looks like he aged a lot.
He really did.
It's to be curious. I mean, who's going to go for these quarterbacks in the draft? I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but you got 2 quarterbacks going to go 1 and 2, but
Well, some Cowboy fans say that we should be trying to move up and get one of these guys. Here's the thing that's interesting, too. I don't know if you saw a Dak delusional fan over there, but it seems like Dak Prescott's kind of bet on himself again and has won again. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, I mean,
Everybody.
what it takes to get the best out of him, I'm all for it.
It's
not like the salary's getting any better there.
yeah, you're going to win a lot of money.
Sad thing is they should have gotten.
That's what you're all about.
What's that, Dak?
No, I'm not saying him. I'm just saying, yeah, he's made himself a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
He's already has a lot of money.
Yeah. The thing that he really needs is that ring.
Legacy.
Yep, exactly.
But here's the problem, though. You could turn around and say, Jerry, you know what? I'll take $10 million a year.
No,
Do you think Jerry's going to go out and say, I'm going to go spend $30 million or $40 million and get some more talent here so you can win one?
You got to get it written in your contract.
Yeah, he ain't going to do that. Oh, shit. We just saved ourselves some more money. He didn't do that when he was, dirt cheap.
I know.
So if that's the case, then why wouldn't I want to try and get as much money as I can?
Well, then he won't be here then, probably.
Well, we'll see. But, as I'm sitting here looking and his numbers are identical to Justin Herbert's right now, who is the second highest paid player in the NFL, and you've beat him twice head to head, the 2 games you've played. Why should I take less money than him? Would you feel good if you were, you got somebody else that's got the same route as you and, I don't know what you're making now, but he's making 50 and you're only making 40? How would you feel about that?
The moves that they're doing, when they say they weren't going to make any moves, they didn't make any moves, couldn't be surprised. And they did say that they're saving that for other people to re-sign. And they have vocally said that they want to sign.
Oh, you got to re-sign CD. You got to re-sign
Micah.
Micah and Dak as your main ones.
Yeah, well,
it's amazing how other teams are able to do all these signings of players and we can't.
No, Dak is usually unwilling. He wants to hit the market as many times as he can. I'm saying, Dak, you're going to get your money. You're going to get your 50-some million a year, but we need to be creative with the contract to allow us to hide some of the money. That's all.
But hold up. Wait.
Mark is all about.
No, but hold on for a second.
Money and we're
no. See, here's the thing. Everybody's talking about he's $59 million next year. But do we know why he's $59 million next year? Because we keep restructuring it. We did the contract and immediately restructured it. So it was so here's the thing. You actually spent 17, 19 and 26 million. So they kicked that money back. So now he's the bad guy because they had to because they paid Jalen Smith, because they paid Lyle Collins, because they got rid of Amari Cooper and took a hit, because they ended up taking a hit because of Zeke Elliott. He's the one that's being blamed for all those mistakes of where they screwed up, and they could have gotten a deal done in the mid 40s. The beginning of this year.
Wanted to restructure anyway.
Well, you know what? You could have tried. You could have tried. You could say, well, Dak, we're going to make you, second highest out there right now and everything else. Before it hit $55 million. Because even
making the 50.
But here's the thing: you got Daniel Jones at $40 million. Think about that, Daniel Jones. Now, if Dak's willing to take a pay cut and Jerry's actually going to do something with it, hell yes.
Pay cut.
Or, what I mean.
His money, just add a couple voidable years.
Well, that's what they did with this one. And again, that contract number that he's had has not been bad. But even with it being 17, 19, and 26, they didn't go out and add anybody of significance.
They're probably going to have him play under the $59 million next year.
Well, that's
fine. That's not that, and then just be creative with Micah and CD's contract.
Well, if you do that, then you can't stop him from leaving. That basically says, this is our last year with you.
Well, you just outlined it, though. You want Dak to hold out for the highest number.
No. I did not say that. No. I did not say that I want him to. I said, but the way you look at it is, shit. Did you get me? That's what I'm saying. But hold it. Did you go out and get me some offensive linemen to protect my ass? Right or wrong? Your only move to help me after getting rid of Cedric Wilson and Amari Cooper is bringing in Brandon Cooks. Mm-hmm. You got rid of my man Zeke Elliott, and what did you do? Well, we're going to take a guy who's really an outside running back who's really more of a receiver, and we're going to say he's going to be my every down back. What you doing for me, bro? I'm looking around at other teams that say, you know what? We're going to go get a great receiver. We're going to go get you a running back. We're going to get some more offensive linemen. It's me, and I'm the one that's taking all the shit for the lack of what you're doing. So why should I do that? I mean, is this like glory?
Yeah,
where my man says, the black soldier take a bullet just like the white ones too for half the money. Yeah, you've seen that in Glory, right? Tear it up. Yeah. Okay. But basically, he taking a whole lot of bullets for the Cowboys.
Yeah, but he's also the quarterback of the most visible team in the world. He has notoriety. Listen, if you win as a Cowboy, you write your ticket for life. Just look at the
I agree.
And he didn't even win. Look at Aikman. He's not the most.
When he went to sign his other contract, he hadn't had the endorsements that he had. He has
now
he's seeing it.
Yeah, now he's seeing everything that comes with being a Cowboy.
I agree with that.
You don't get that.
But with Troy,
Green Bay.
With Troy, they tried to put the stuff together to help him out. They went out and constantly were bringing in players and making the team better. They ain't doing that shit now.
So he might be better off going to New England. You're not going to win nothing there, but hey, they'll pay you $60 million, and you'll get more money. That's probably where it's heading.
I think he could get it if he was negotiating. They would take less. I think he could negotiate it into his contract that you had to spend the money on. I never
said take less though. I said he likes his agent Todd France likes their contracts are structured a certain way where the teams have a little bit of flexibility, not a lot. Never said not pay him top dollar. He's going to be a top paid quarterback. But at some point, all these numbers aside, you got to look at playoff wins and what the other quarterbacks that are going far in the playoffs, getting
Yeah,
to
but
Super
Bobby
Bowl.
Murphy, he did win, but the defense allowed the touchdown at the end to stop his win.
I
So
mean, look at
as much
Joe
as you want
Burrow.
to take it away from him, he did
Joe Burrow
deliver in
got
that
to a
moment.
Super Bowl with a beat up offensive line.
Yeah,
And
but
he
look
just
at the
got
weapons he had.
But he had no offensive line, so you could have all. If it was Dallas, there was no way we'd have gotten there because everything has to be perfect in Dallas. We can't, if you don't have an offensive line, well, we got to blame the offensive line. I'm just saying. I mean, we had Amari Cooper. We had. I mean, there's been time and time again, even before Dak, back in when we were the number one seed and we lost to the Giants. You know, Romo did the same thing. So.
Again, here is the quintessential problem, because this is the same problem that happened when we had D-Ware, when we had Jason Witten, we had Tony Romo. You had basically 8 guys that sucked up half of the salary cap.
Yeah.
And when you have half of the guys taking that much up, it ends up being that the average salary for everybody who's not one of those top tier, Des Bryant, Tony Romo guys, is about $2.5 million. And these are guys that are starters. So when you lose a Tyron Smith, you go to a Chaz Green. When you lose a Sean Lee, you go from, giving up 80 yards a game running the football to 180. That has been the problem with our team, is we're always so top heavy with great talent. We always have lots of Pro Bowl players. But the problem is you're going to lose some of those guys. And when you do, and you don't have guys to replace them like we are right now with Van Der Esch out, we don't have commodities that are guys that have experience at the level that we need them to be by the time playoff gets here. When you have only 2 weapons, Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb, and you lose Tony Pollard, Zeke ain't getting it done in the playoffs. Hadn't since his rookie year. These things matter. That's why, you look at the Rams, they go out and say, we got Jefferson, we got Cooper Kupp and all these guys, right? But let's go ahead and get a Odell just to make sure we got enough. Yeah, we got a good defense. We got like this guy, named Aaron Donald and stuff that nobody's heard of. But let's bring in a Von Miller too to make sure we got a little extra oomph, right? San Francisco, they had a great defense. You know what? Let's go ahead and get a Chase Young and add him to the mix. We always get rid of guys that are performing and don't replace them. I have no problem getting rid of Zeke. I had no problem getting rid of Amari Cooper, as long as you have something to replace the production that's as good or better.
Go young though, and just trust your draft picks. You don't have to go out and necessarily get a big name.
That's true, but
my thing is, you're seeing Tolbert now. I mean, last year was a wash year, but why aren't we getting Jalen Brooks involved? I mean, we got to go. You can't just go out. The NFL.
Twins that beg to differ.
The NFL payment structure, you can't have the best player at your top 3 at every position.
I agree with you. But then you should have waited one more year with Amari Cooper if you're thinking that Jalen Tolbert was. You don't go ahead and say, we're just going to draft a guy in the 3rd round and he's going to end up replacing Amari Cooper's production.
Yeah, VZP, I think where we're going is Dak will be gone after next year. That's probably how it's going to play out.
However, if you can't, the thing about it is,
it is what it is. He'll get his money. It will probably be
starters.
It'll probably be New England or Tampa or, it is what it is.
And if that happens, I hope he gets a ring wherever he goes.
Maybe it'll be Green Bay. I hope we win the ring.
I would love for us. I would love for Dak to win.
I'm a Cowboy fan before any one player, and I'll always be that way. That's the difference I think we are. I don't really get caught up. I love Dak. I've been the biggest Dak supporter, but at the end of the day, I just want to win a Super Bowl as a Cowboy fan. These players are going to come and go.
They are.
I'll always be a Dallas fan. So as much as I love Dak, if he's got to go for me to win a Super Bowl, see you, buddy. If that's what's going to make you happy, then go be happy.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. But again, it's on the Joneses family. But you would hate to see that happened, and then we find out Trey Lance is really not that good.
Well,
And then we go back to the purgatory that was, after Troy Aikman, where we're basically the Commanders, where we're bringing in this guy and that guy, and all of a sudden, how many times have we let a guy go and say we should have never got rid of him?
I don't know about.
I don't know. We've seen some defenders go to Kansas City and get rings.
Yeah, but that was more of a team thing. They didn't last in the league too long.
Just
There's
saying.
only one guy that I would say, and that was Amari Cooper.
Definitely,
Outside
Mark.
of that, nobody's gone on to do really great things. Those linebackers that went to Kansas City, they're long gone.
They're long gone, but they got themselves a ring before they were gone.
Where he went to Denver to get his ring. And
He got his ring.
Yeah. So that's what I said. Yeah, that's where Dak might go. Dak may end up going to a team and getting them a ring if we can't get it here.
But
Lance in.
I hate to say. I mean, that would be the dumbest thing in the world, is to have to pay him $59 million, and then he walks and you get nothing. That would be, to me, the dumbest move of all times.
Maybe
to basically
they do
show
it
you
post the June 1 cut, and you eat $26.1 million for both years, or it's like 26.
it's still. You're still
I'm not saying that's what I
eating
want.
that money and getting nothing in return. That's just crazy.
I think by that point, I just think he'll want to be competitive, and he'll know what has to come with that. And obviously, it's
I don't
up to
think
the
he
coach
wants to go anywhere.
Screw that up.
But I don't think he's going to tell his agent not to change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's going to go out and try and get what he wants. So it'll be interesting to see. That's why they brought Trey Lance in here, to see if they
As
can
an insurance
develop
policy.
him.
Oh, I
Just in
agree.
case. Have a little leverage. I don't know. I don't know Trey Lance I don't know if he's ever going to develop. But,
Well, here's
where I think they blew it was when Dak was under his rookie deal. And
yeah, that's when they should have been doing it
right away. Yep.
Because you see what they're doing with Purdy, whether it results in a Super Bowl or not, we shall see. But they're going all in, man. They are picking up guys left and right. And then they went out and get chased.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And again, that goes back to looking what teams do to get to the Super Bowl. They add talent. Name me a team that has gotten rid of a great wide receiver that's gone to the Super Bowl. Look at where Tennessee is after getting rid of A.J. Brown. At least we're not doing that bad. Okay?
Yeah. That's like probably the last one.
Right.
But he was more like batshit crazy.
Lady Libra. What's up, Lady Libra? She said Dak is a Cowboy and will retire a Cowboy.
I hope so, Lady Libra. But it takes two to tango,
This is true.
So, you know how I feel about Cowboy. So I don't have any faith that they're going to be able to work something out. They haven't been able to work out a contract in a timely fashion since he was drafted. They've allowed Dak to jump through the hoops, play under the minimum, and then franchise him again. And then finally get a deal done. Dak Prescott doesn't owe the Cowboys anything. So they got rid of his best friend, both of his best friends, Schultz and Ezekiel
It's not
Elliott.
a fraternity. It's a football team. It's like I don't care. I don't care if it's your dad on the squad. If you don't make the team, you don't make the team.
Right.
You can't,
Exactly.
it's not for your feelings. You want to.
As Romo
team,
said, football is the NFL is a. What did he say it was? When he did his interview on his way out.
Well, you got Doug Peterson fired. Cutting his son from the team. Could have.
So if that were to happen, looking at the Cowboys' all-time statistics, if Dak played this year and next year, he'd probably end up being second all-time with yards, because Tony Romo has 34,000. Dak is at 27 right now. Don't think he would get that. Completion percentage.
That's something that happens. Unless they start running the ball.
Right now, Dak Prescott has the highest quarterback QBR rating of the big Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks. TD wise, Dak is second with 179.
Get him protection, man. That would give him. That'd be nice.
Troy Aikman,
Man,
wow.
offensive line should be the number one focus in the offseason.
I don't think he's going to catch Troy Aikman in interceptions. Troy has 141, Danny White 132, Tony has 117. Dak, little old Dak is down here with 70. And right now, rating-wise, Rodney Peete is the highest-rated quarterback of the Cowboys' history at 102. Dak is second at 98. Troy Aikman is third with 97. So, if he's only here this year and next year, he'll be basically second.
The legends. Let's be real. You're not going to think of him with Roger Staubach. You're not going to be thinking about Troy Aikman. You're not going to. It's going to be in the category of Tony Romo and Dak Prescott if he can't get into that Super Bowl.
And Danny White.
Great stats is Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't won shit.
So yeah, I agree. I love what he's right. Yep.
Okay, real question. And don't sugarcoat it. Do you look at that game? Because that game against the Eagles is the epitome of what has happened in Dak Prescott and Tony Romo's career. Do you look at that and say it's Dak Prescott's fault? Or do you look at it and say it's something else?
I was going to say percentage was his fault in that game. It would be like 2 or 3%. It wasn't very much.
Mm-hmm.
There was some times where you could, but he would be in pressure but there was definitely the step out of bounds. Come on, man. That's, he's just trying to make a play. As not athletic as he was. The diving whole situation. I don't know. There was a couple of times, but overall, man, heck no, man. I think they failed him. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Not getting. They see Steele again. I struggle on when you see somebody struggling on the offensive line, how you don't get them help.
That was the Chaz Green game all over again.
Doing like this. Just chip somebody. Talk to somebody. I don't know. When you run out there, just call him his mom his name or something, just to distract him or something, because you're not doing anything to help the guy.
Oh my God! Call his mama's name or something. Damn.
I'm just saying, man. Like I see no help when you got a guy struggling. You're just Chaz Greening it. Just letting him he'll get better. He'll figure it out. I get it, man. He can, but seriously, just get some guys some help. Sometimes people are struggling in the game. Gallup. Oh, let's just push through it and let's just keep force feeding him the ball. He'll catch out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, no, man. Sometimes you need to go another direction in the middle of a game. That's why you have a Tolbert. That's why you have
Rob says game time. Tell Mark why he keeps saying Dak needs to help. He had Dez, Zeke, Witten, Beasley.
Okay, hold. Let's back up.
Everybody should be an option, not scheming people over.
Can I answer that question?
Yeah, that's why I said it.
When was the last time we saw a running back lead a team to a Super Bowl win?
Running back lead a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith.
Okay.
Bus. I would say the bus.
Terrell Davis.
Maybe, yeah.
I would say the bus in Pittsburgh.
But he was in the league leading running back. But be that as it may.
Roethlisberger doesn't make that, because he almost fumbled that Super Bowl away.
He was that year.
Right before the playoffs, he fumbled it right to go to the Super Bowl, and it was Ben Roethlisberger that actually, grabbed him by the foot as they ran back for the touchdown. So
Trexler says he's had great receivers. I think he's
okay. So where was Des Bryant towards? Okay, let me ask this: when Dak was a rookie and stuff, where was Des Bryant in his career?
Towards the end, yeah.
It was towards the end where he was still injured quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jason Witten, where was Jason Witten as far as his career went by the time Dak got there?
It was so funny to watch Jason Witten be all slow out there and still get open.
You know what? It was. Here's the reality of it was. You looked at it and you made a calculated decision. Is like, would you rather have Amari Cooper catch the ball and be able to go to the house, or Jason Witten? you'd want Jason Witten to catch the ball because you knew he'll catch the ball, but he's not going anywhere. So that's part of the reason why Jason Witten was always open. Like, let's just let him stay open. Let's hope that that's where they throw the balls to one of those speedsters. And so we're saying that running backs leading the league, so guys like Derrick Henry or Adrian Peterson, aren't elevating their team to win a Super Bowl. So we look and say that Zeke would be able to.
Zeke is why Dak's upset.
Well, yeah, I agree with that one. And I don't know that Zeke necessarily helps our situation that much more because Zeke was averaging
I hear
about 3.9.
Text where you and DMV were saying, or somebody was saying that, we need Zeke back. I'm like, I didn't even get involved in it. That's not what we need.
Zeke is not doing it. I mean,
no offense to Zeke.
Zeke has a spurt here and there.
You had your chance to go make a trade at the deadline. Go get me a Derrick Henry. Go get me the guy in Arizona. They didn't do anything. James Conner. I mean, go give me a Leonard Fournette. I think he would have fit good. I know he's not the best, but you can't. I keep saying you can't go out and get the best at every position. That's not how you could structure a football team. You'll never.
That's kind of what I thought Ronald Jones was going to be when he was here.
Yeah, Ronald Jones. Everybody got all worked up over Ronald. What did I say? He wasn't making the team. Then he got suspended.
That killed it.
And then that totally killed it. So.
Zeke is 3.8 yards a carry. We're averaging 3.9. He's got 2 TDs.
It's not long-term IL, though. Brad Harris says, respect, Mark Holmes.
Okay, so
exclamation.
We did have Amari Cooper, which did change our team that year. And that showed you how much good having a good receiver helps a team. Okay?
Especially for $20 million.
Right, now.
Yeah, I thought that was a deal.
How was the defense when we had Amari Cooper?
Not great.
Yeah. But it was, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah, the culture changed when Dan Quinn came, and sure as heck wasn't the salary.
I would say good enough to win, but we didn't win. Yeah. Again, most teams don't have the best.
That was
of everything.
Marinelli, right? Or was that?
Yeah, but remember, there can be only one.
Sometimes. What's that?
There can be only one. And take a look at the teams that are okay. Kansas City's one. Is it 2?
Kansas City's defense.
No, but they got Pat Mahomes, okay? But there's only one Pat Mahomes. And right now, Pat Mahomes isn't great, but their defense is picking up the slack.
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a decent defense, no offensive line.
Playmaker, wide receiver.
I know, but we have CeeDee Lamb.
National championship wide receiver and quarterback in Cincinnati, too.
Yeah.
Coming off of a knee injury.
All right, so that's 2 out of 32.
No, I'm saying that's all I could think of.
Okay, but then I look at Tampa Bay and say Tampa Bay had a decent team. They brought in Tom Brady. They brought in Ndamukong Suh. They brought in the Gronk and everybody else to go ahead and win. Boom. Look at the Rams doing what they did, okay? They ended up bringing in more talent and, of course, another quarterback, okay? Look at the Eagles last year doing all that.
To buy a Super Bowl. Why can't we go buy a Super Bowl?
That's my point.
Everybody's afraid that we're not going to, that we're going to have a couple 5-win seasons. Okay, so what?
And how many of them can you ask if you sacrifice a couple of seasons?
You got it, Eddie. I was wondering if anybody was gonna get that one. That was one of my favorite movies. There can be only one. The Highlander. I do those like that. Throw things in there just to see if anybody actually gets the references. Shout out to my cousin Eddie, who soon will be freezing his balls off in Minnesota. So this game is really a snooze fest, 10-9. This is like 2 teams that don't want to win. Listen, we don't. Mike Singletary. There's Michael Singletary. Can we get him for linebacker right now? But that's the bottom line. To me, this was the year that you look and say, you know what? We are going to have to pay Dak Prescott $59 million next year. Maybe we blow the thing up. Let's go ahead and say, let's push some chips in and see what happens. Because you look around and say the Eagles are, 8-1, but they're not a great 8-1. Couple extra players here, an extra linebacker, a decent running back, a few more offensive linemen, you would be the best team in football. That's all it would take. Not a whole hell of a lot. But
He's babbling like an old man, right?
we like the team that we have. We like our guys. You think that he was the referee there patting the Eagles on. We like our guys. I mean, come on, man. What the hell? It's like the Joneses are scared little biatches sometimes.
Defense was ranked in top 10 in points allowed. That's good enough. I hear you, man.
Okay.
I hear you, Dak delusional fan. Again, I want Dak here, but I don't. If he's gonna insist on setting the market or whatever, then it's not gonna happen. That's all.
I think the only time a quarterback ever gets that kind of thing is like Justin Fields, where like when he's on the field, that's their whole offense. Like, I get it, okay. Throw one guy the ball and let him play all over, and then you understand.
It's not like we've had all this playoff
the
success.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the thing. We don't have a lot of playoff success under this quarterback. We could sit there and say why, but the facts are the facts. Sometimes you just got to go win a freaking game. Like, do you tell me you're not frustrated at the end of that game that we couldn't get the ball into the end zone?
I am.
That we had a wide open guy. I'm not. Now, listen, I am smart enough to understand that when a blitzer is coming, you don't always have the time to unload the ball. And if you do, you might fumble it. It might, there's a lot of things that can happen. It's easy to sit home and say, oh, you should. But when you look at the film and the guy's wide open, it's a little frustrating. So,
I want to be real.
So,
like, when you're looking at that blitz, what was the read? Like, he didn't even look to the other side. To me,
he never looked at the other side.
It seems like the initial thing would be the first one would have been over to the right and then to the left, but he predetermined where he was going with this.
Yeah, and he's been doing that a lot, where he'll pick a guy and just stick it to a hard throw.
And, so
and then when you blow up the field, there's a guy running free.
Wide open, exactly.
I added both of you guys. Did you see that play on Twitter? I sent it to Mark and you.
The one that was sideways?
Unbelievable. He was gone, baby. It was over. And it's very frustrating. And it's easy to say looking at it, but that's all we do, right? As fans, is we look at, that was an opportunity. You want to shut people up, and we look at his record and all that, but when you don't have a big playoff resume, you got to come through in these type of games. So I would say that if he's going to hold out for top dollar, he's probably not going to be a Cowboy. That's all. It's unfortunate, because I think he's a good quarterback.
So let me ask you this then. So in comparison to, say, Dak and Josh Allen, where do you put that?
That's very comparable. I think that's extremely comparable, those two. Like,
I would go Josh just because he doesn't have the wear and tear. He'll run you over. He'll run. Every game he's running 50, 60 yards. I don't think Dak could
69 interceptions since 2018.
That's true. That's
leads the NFL.
The league in interceptions, and he's still.
I don't think his mind is as good in the sense of Dak. Where I'm just thinking the ability to use his legs. The fact that you got to think about that. I think past 3 games, Dak is doing that more. It's not as one of his main weapons.
You outlined yourself about, you always bring up Troy Aikman, and oh my God, how many interceptions. I could give a shit how many interceptions you throw if you can win me a couple Super Bowls.
Yeah, but, don't act like Troy didn't have some help.
No,
and think about Troy Aikman when Emmitt Smith held out those first 2 games.
He went 0-2.
Yeah. So that running game was important. How about that Great Wall of Dallas? Do we have a Great Wall of Dallas right now? Do we have a security blanket tight end?
We need to claim an insurance claim
right
on
now.
That
Yeah,
line, because you got to seal it.
I don't know that he's Jay Novacek yet.
No, still young, very young.
Do we have a Michael Irvin and Alvin Harper out there, wide receivers?
We got C.D. Lamb, and we don't have a.
Do we? Okay, let's be real here. Do we have a number 2 wide receiver right now?
We may, but he might be hidden in the number 4 or 5 spot.
This offense, you heard the head coach say that they're going to go with their first read, and right now they're making C.D. Lamb read 1, and he's not getting the Cooks. Cooks is running free. Look at the tape.
Okay.
Cooks is running free. I don't want anybody to say that a Brandon Cooks isn't getting open. He's wide open. So I have an issue when I look at it that way and I see Brandon Cooks consistently
Is
wide
that
open.
Dak or is that the
I don't
scheme?
know who it is, but that's wrong. However we're doing it.
I mean, if he's saying it as well, we always go to the number 1. Yeah.
Yeah, they're force feeding one guy, just like when they went to Ferguson. Some of those windows are tight.
And
You got to move your eyes around. I don't care what with Mike McCarthy wants. Get the ball to the guy that's streaking down the field wide open. But I think it all comes down to the offensive line. I think it's not good right now in Dallas with the
when
offensive
you got a
line.
tackle that gives up 12 pressures in one game.
I think that's the main.
I mean, when you 12 pressures in one game. Now, the left side of the field played pretty good.
7 hurries, 4 sacks. Yeah. Yeah. What a 5 rating? That's just crazy. 15? What was it? 15?
And Cool G, in Mark's chat. I love Dak. Don't get me wrong. I want to win with Dak. I've already said that. I want Dak to win the MVP. I want to shut a lot of people up. But when things happen, and I'm not blaming just Dak, but sometimes when it all breaks down, when everything comes crumbling around you, you need your quarterback to make a play. And Dak will do it sometimes, but it seems like it didn't happen last week. It was like,
As Ronnie also put it, shout out to Ronnie, we ain't got a Jimmy Johnson as a coach either.
But you see how it sounds? I agree with you. But by us constantly saying, well, Dak doesn't have this, Dak doesn't have that, Dak doesn't have that. What we have is back-to-back 12-win seasons. So are they hollow? Are they not hollow? You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy.
I will still go back to, here is the problem. And this is the problem we've had with Zeke. Zeke was an incredible running back. Problem is when you have a running back that gets about 300 plus carries, by the time you get to the playoffs, you're worn down. And that's where we're headed right now with Tony Pollard. And Tony Pollard is not that kind of a back to begin with right now. And when you are on the bare minimum of players, when guys start getting nicked up, you don't have enough to keep going.
They're fucking trolling us bad now, Mark.
Yeah,
They're
you
trolling
two are
us
like,
big
I just
time.
let you guys.
We're bringing up some good stuff back and forth. At the end of the day, I don't care. Give me a quarterback that throws a lot of interceptions, but can step up and win me a big game. That's all. I'm not saying Dak can't, but it's hard for us to keep defending him. Is where I'm going. To the fans who say, "Well, we're in year number 8 or 9."
All right, okay, you're going postal now on him, but okay. But here's the thing that's always funny. The thing that's always said about Dak. At first it was, it's only because he's got, Des Bryant and all these great weapons, or he's got Zeke Elliott, and then it was, we got Kellen Moore, the great play caller. Well, you know what's funny? Or it was Amari Cooper. All those guys are still gone, but he's still performing. Now, it's not Super Bowl level.
He always brings up the player, like the play of the people around him. I will agree with that.
So what if we took Dak Prescott and put him on, say, a team that's like, I don't know, the Eagles, that have a great offensive line, that have a great tight end, that have two really good
Dak
wide receivers
early in his career. So I think
that's what I'm saying. You can't say, well, we're not, succeeding at Super Bowls when you look at what the hell the Eagles have to work with versus what we have. It's like I'm trying to build a house, with the handsaw, and this guy's got every power tool in the world. It's going to be a lot harder for me to build that house with that one saw that I'm trying to cut everything with.
I feel like Rocky, Mark, is one round like we're doing good. Then the next round I'm getting beat up, and then the next round I'm back.
Adrian! Adrian!
I'm seeing 3 of them out there. Hit the one in the middle. Hit the one in the middle. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just putting out there why people talk about Dak the way they do. I get frustrated at times, and then I see him go off and have an unbelievable game and go, there he is, and then I see him miss multiple times open wide receivers, not even look. Like he's not seeing the field.
You know, that happens to guys like Josh Allen who end up throwing pick sixes and everything else too, and lose games. But be that as it may, as I look at this team, you admit that our offensive line is playing like shit. It sucks. You admit that Tony Pollard in our running game, which is averaging 3.9 yards a carry.
I don't think it's Pollard. I think it's our line.
Okay.
It's banged up. I don't think nothing can really work with it.
So, okay. And we sit here and we look, and for whatever reason, we're not using Brandon Cooks, and we all know that Michael Gallup is ass. And maybe the whole thing with the Joneses is we paid this guy $12 million, and we need to make sure we don't look like we're stupid. Okay?
Maybe it's Will McClay's fault because, I gave him credit. Maybe we should have gotten a damn offensive lineman. Me and Phil were talking about getting an offensive lineman, and we take a Mozzie Smith who can't get on the freaking field.
He can't get on the field. I was excited about getting a big run stuffer, but Hankins is actually doing the job.
We were dying about, and I like John Michael Schmitz, and he's not playing well. So that tells you what I know. But I'm just saying, whether it was a Bergeron out of Syracuse or any one of these guys, that DeJuan Jones, the big boy out of Ohio State that's killing it now, that said he couldn't move because he was 6'8". Well, he's moving pretty damn good. So it's like, maybe we need to start, I think we overthink things sometimes. Just take you need an offensive line.
Duh.
Jones should move.
But here we go. Okay, so let me see if I got this straight. Our problem is our offensive line, so let's get rid of the quarterback. We'll get another guy in here who's going to get killed with a fucked up offensive line.
I'm saying if you want $60 million, he's got to go. I'm not paying him.
It's okay. Well, $60 million. Who says? I don't know what he's going to want.
Right now, he's on the books for 59.
It's 59. Why is he 59 for next year? Because they've restructured him so he would be 17, 19, and 26. Whose fault is that?
New deal, and Todd France said we're not playing that game.
Okay, well,
we want what we want.
You know what?
We're not going to allow Dallas to get any salary cap room.
If it were me, as you just admitted, my offensive line is shit and we didn't do anything about it. I don't have a running back who was my best buddy, and I don't look and see that they're going to do anything changing. I've already had my ankle decapitated right here for the team, right? I've literally had that done. I've thrown out my shoulder, okay? I've had my my thumb with a metal plate in here. I've given everything I can to try and get this team here, and I ain't getting nobody coming back and help me.
Then this is what I want my quarterback to do.
I'm just saying.
Every now and again, stop preaching the company line and say, you know what? I want what that team's got.
There you go.
Somebody, Jerry.
And do you think they're going to listen to Dak, the little old Dak Prescott? You know what, son? You see the name on the door right there is Jerry Wayne Jones, and I own this mother humper, and I own you. Take your ass and get on out of here. I'll give you what the hell I want to give you. I own you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And then he goes to the media and says, and lights him up, say, yeah, we're close. You go give me a couple players at the deadline to put us over the top. That's what I think we need. I mean, you had Michael Parsons saying it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jerry's going to go do something. He should have said something on his podcast. Light up his ownership. Everybody's afraid to say anything about Catboy and Jerry Jones.
Yep.
Go get me some players.
I hear you.
The 49ers are already now. I know they're on the tailspin right now, but something tells me they'll straighten it out. Mm-hmm. They went out and got Randy Gregory and, oh, by the way, a Chase out of Washington. They went out and traded for McCaffrey. They got Debo. They got Ayuk. They got Kittle.
Exactly. They got all kinds of shit right there to work with, and they say it's not enough. So let's go get some more. And what do we do? What do we do?
I need my quarterback to blast ownership and say, all right, Either you get me, people, or why am I here?
You just made the argument why it's not Dak Prescott's fault. If San Francisco is not
he's
getting
a
to the Super
company
Bowl
guy.
and they're getting people with better play, they got better players already, and they're still going out and getting more. How can you compete with that? How can you?
Oh, but
Look,
he won't.
is Phil asleep over there? What
Phil's
the F are you doing, Phil? You just staying out of this
We're
fight?
not giving each other time to talk. Why do you think I'm going to jump in there?
He's up here with his leg all, his pasty leg all up in the
Sit back with my money, like, okay, let's see how this goes.
No, Listen, every one of us Cowboy fans are out there begging and pleading and saying, let's make a trade. Why are we sitting there saying, let's make a trade? Because we recognize we don't have enough talent to win the Super Bowl. We all see this. But then when we don't do anything and Jerry Jones sits there, hey, we them boys, and, we think. We don't give a shit what you think. Look what everybody else is doing to try and get there. You're doing nothing. Then we turn around and say, oh, well, you know what? It's okay that, here it is, little Dak Prescott. He got his little kitty hammer. He's trying to hammer that nail while everybody else has got themselves a pneumatic, boom, shooting that shit in there, okay? We're sitting here looking at San Francisco with Deebo Samuels and all these guys and great defense, and they're going out and getting 2 playmaking defensive ends. Come on, man. And we're doing what? Well, we made some phone calls to some guys and things, but it didn't quite work out. We're sitting. This is how bad it is. We're sitting here debating Anthony Barr.
No, you are. I don't want no part of Anthony friggin' Barr. No.
Give me a better option at this point.
Not Anthony Barr.
I'm just saying.
Linebacker.
I did that to try and trigger you more than anything else. I'm just saying he's not coming back, and nor should he be.
Linebacker.
But I'm just pointing out there's nothing out there right now that is going to help you get to the Super Bowl. Your time has passed. You screwed the damn pooch. You had a terrible draft, and you're not getting an impact from those guys. Okay? So you're sitting here with ass as your number 3 wide receiver right now that you overpaid instead of keeping Amari Cooper. But you're blaming the quarterback that you got a guy that you threw the ball to him 11 times and he only came down with 3. You got a coach out here with the Texas burnt toast offense and things who's just saying, we're just going to take the field goal and stuff. It was just making all kinds of mistakes and everything. But instead of putting that guy on blame, you blame the damn quarterback. You got a running scheme that's ass. I mean ass, right? Can't do anything. 3.9 yards. You got a running back that your coach isn't smart enough to recognize. Can't run up the middle, but you still, back to back, run him up the middle and destroy him. And we blame the quarterback. Am I got it right on this? You got an owner that says, we believe in our guys. We believe in our guys. And we think that we got enough. You don't have enough. And we blame the quarterback. Do I have it right? Do I have it right?
Team. We see the putting linemen in that aren't supposed to be in, Edoga instead of ones that are showing. We see the struggles in some of the tackles.
They fall in love too much with their own players.
Yeah, I mean, we see Gallup not performing as much as Tolbert. If it wasn't for I paid money for him kind of situation.
But the dumbest shit that we keep doing over and over and over again is we keep paying guys when they're coming back from injury.
Because they think they're getting a deal. They're like, this is the time to get the deal.
The fuck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Get me somebody who's not injured. That when the season starts, I don't have to wait for him to get healthy. Seriously. Well, Terrence, if they're not going to be ready to start the first day of training camp, don't sign them into a long-term deal. Don't do it. Or have somebody else who's going to be there to start for them. Because you did that with Michael Gallup, and you can't say you got anything out of that contract. If you got anything out of that contract, it was Amari Cooper leaving and Cedric Wilson. You got nothing. And right now, Terrence Steele doesn't look like anything. He looks like aluminum. He is not steel right now. He's aluminum. No, he's lead.
Aluminum.
He's lead. He's lead. He can't move. And so here it is. We're going to go ahead and say, well, Dak just can't get it done. Of course he can't get it done. Not with the shit you're giving him to work with, dudes. Come on, man.
When the guys are wide
Game
open, you
time.
gotta find a
Game
way to
time.
get the ball
You're
to 'em.
beginning to fall into the delusion. Yeah, is delusional Dak over there with you that much? Are you beginning to fall into that whole trap that it's all
hit the
just
guys that are
Dak
wide
Prescott?
You got to hit the guys that are streaking wide open down the field. That's all.
You got 2 seconds, and you can probably go through on just about any play, and you can always find somebody who's open. But when you know that you got a right tackle that can't stop shit, okay, can't stop shit, you're like, I got to go ahead and get rid of this mother humper before I get sacked.
A ball to the sideline. It's like, that's not
a
good.
whole lot.
Oh, my
Who's
God.
that?
I mean, I think Steele struggled obviously the last game. There's a couple games that he has. I mean, he hasn't looked extremely terrible this season, but when your guy goes in, when somebody is struggling in a game,
In a game like that,
off game,
you need a coach that says, let's help him out.
Thank you, exactly, man, exactly. In so many ways, could be the wide receiver, could be the running back. Could
Well,
be
you know
the
why they don't want to
quarterback.
do that,
Hey,
don't
what
you?
happens when the quarterback is struggling? You get him in a rhythm. You do something. You
Do
know,
you know
like,
why they don't want to do that?
Why? Because they're
They don't want to
stupid?
help out. Well, that too, but they
Don't
don't
waste
want
the
to
guy.
help out because you waste the guy. You're that less.
But they're
that
wasting
much
guys
less
all over the
dynamic.
secondary. That's the
You-
problem.
You
They're
can't see
scheming other
the
people
forest
open.
through the trees because they don't want to have to chip and leave another guy in.
But they're
'Cause
doing it
now
all
the
over the
Texas
secondary.
coach. Yeah, we've been saying do 12 personnel. Let's be a little less. Let's be a little less aggressive. Put 2 tight ends on the field and let's go. But they won't do it. This goes to McCarthy. Mark's having a rough one.
Now it's all coming down. You're right on the money, Mark.
I am not going to sit here and say that Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in the NFL. I'm not going to sit here and say that Dak Prescott does not make mistakes and miss guys. I'm not going to say that. But when I look at the problems that we have, that everybody just thinks that the quarterback can overcome, that quarterback does not exist. Not when you got problems with the coaching, the play calling, the clock management, the offensive line, the lack of being able to run the football. Now, I'm going to say, when we've gotten our lunch handed to us against the 49ers, the 2 big problems we always have in the playoffs are A, we can't stop the run, and B, we can't run the football. Now, it seems the last couple of weeks we've been better at stopping the run, but we ain't got a running game, guys. And a running game is a quarterback's best friend. And as I look at Troy Aikman, as I look at Roger Staubach, things that they had were defenses that could stop the run, and they had a running game that allowed them to be balanced and made them better quarterbacks.
This will make you think.
And I don't see that with the Cowboys right now.
Twiz says we have a rookie JV offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator, and we're 8-1. Stick it where the sun don't shine.
And you got a whole lot more
I
tools.
added that part.
You know what? And you got a whole lot more tools to work with. You know, it's kind of like people would say, Norv Turner, oh, he's a genius. If you got all the pieces that you have, you could almost do just about anything because you were dominating other teams. You just had better talent than everybody else. Now that the talent is watered down and you have a salary cap, the Joneses don't know how to play it. They just don't. You look at how many contracts the Joneses. You can literally look at and say how many contracts have they actually done, second ones, that have actually said that was a great move. Every one of them are always overpriced, and usually they're not on the team for much longer. And that goes back to Jay Ratcliffe. That goes back to Miles Austin, to Terrence Newman, to Marion Barber, to Des Bryant. road after road. And see, what happens is because you make these fuck ups on these because you believe in a guy after one season, like you did with Michael Gallup, who had his sophomore season of over 1,000 yards, but was still steadily going downhill. You decided we're going to go ahead and pay him a $57 million contract with a bad knee. And instead you say, well, we can save some money on Amari Cooper because we don't like the way he stands with COVID. And you know what? That guy, like Cedric Wilson, he wants like $6 or $7 million. That's too much money. We're going to get rid of those guys. We go ahead and we get rid of Lyle Collins and Connor Williams. I'm not saying that they were great, but what did we do to replace them? Anyone?
No, their strategy was that the guy was already on the team. That's what they like to say.
Yeah, you're already on a team that's not winning Super Bowls. Okay, I get it.
My whole thing is when they're getting rid of these guys because they're bringing in somebody else new. That's what the whole point is, to get depth behind the starters, and you're using that depth as starters and getting rid of the guys that could also contribute. So yeah, I mean, it's an all-around thing. I mean, you get rid of Zeke, but you need to kind of replace that, and they just didn't do it. You need a power runner. If you had a power runner on this team,
Josh Ball.
Offense,
yeah, we got Josh Ball. We believe in our guys like Josh Ball. He's great. Okay, that Brandon Wheaton, he throws one of the prettiest passes you've ever seen. You know what? Here's the problem. I feel like you just hit it. We believe in our own guys, but what do you guys know? What do you know, Stephen Jones? You believe in them, but what do you know? Because evidently, the guys you believe in, they ain't as good as you think. They're not good enough to win the Super Bowl.
Bobby Murphy. That's where I'm at this point.
Look, I'm
hold
putting
everybody accountable.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he's got to hold everybody accountable. I just don't like.
Unfortunately,
other
though,
teams could suffer things and still make it through. We can't. If we have we lose Diggs and we got people crying and we can't stop the Arizona Cardinals. It's like, for whatever reason, and I don't know what it is, but we have to have everything perfectly aligned.
Damn.
And we still won't necessarily get it done. Our best chance was a few years ago, and we shit the bed in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like very frustrating. I mean, we should have beat the Niners at home. That was our opportunity, and we did. So, everything needs to be perfect for the Cowboys to win, and that's not the way the NFL works, man. By the time the end of the year comes,
I hate to say that, Brian, but
find a way to get it done.
Brian, I think that's for most teams, though. I mean, the Eagles, they went out and they got all kinds of talent and still wasn't enough.
They pretty much went wire to wire last year and didn't suffer that much injury. That was
and they kept getting. They get an injury. Let's go out and get Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
Let's go out and try and get. Robert Quinn didn't work out, but let's go out and get Robert Quinn. They kept adding to the roster constantly, so they did not have a letdown
this year. I mean, we could argue what he is, but
he got a touchdown pass for him the week.
Got a red zone touchdown.
Yeah,
so
he's got more than Michael Gallup does.
Yep.
Just saying.
It's frustrating as a Cowboy fan that everything has to be perfect for us. I need guys to go make plays and go on a run. If you are what you say you are, stop it with the excuses. Go get it done. You're not going to have a perfect team. You're not going to have a perfect offensive line. We've already outlined that we have a lot of talent. Brandon Cooks is a very talented. He's a 1,000-yard receiver everywhere he's gone except in Dallas. Now, he's running wide open. We see the film, but our scheme is not allowing us to get him the ball. We're going to just force feed Ferguson. We're going to go to Gallup, who keeps dropping the ball. We're going to go to
I'm not mad about feeding Ferguson because Ferguson's numbers and success rate are really good.
How you win in this league is explosive plays, and Brandon Cooks is your most explosive offensive. He's the fastest offensive player you have.
That may be true, but guess what?
Get him
You know the consistent thing that always seems to work for Kansas City? It's Kelsey.
Getting the ball in their fast hands and have them run 80 yards. That's
Well,
what they do.
Kelsey is always the consistent
he's
there.
there, but,
And he only averages like 10 yards
Look
a
at
catch.
Pacheco. They keep finding him.
Yeah, they do. But
keep
are we
finding
finding
these
him?
guys.
We still have Michael Gallup on there, another one of those guys we believe in.
Again, our coach is putting them out there. So, who we blaming? You can't blame Jerry for that. That's the coach.
I don't know. The coach only can do what Jerry Jones wants him to do. Jerry Jones is out there every Tuesday, telling you, about this guy and that guy like he's the coach. And I do remember going to Dallas and spending that $39 for a tour at AT&T, where we got to see the owner's GM suite, which has the phone that goes down to the field. It comes from the main suite where you can have like 150 people in it, but there's an elevator that goes up there. That elevator that goes up there with that phone, the bat
there
phone.
There are players that are literally bending over backwards to play for this team, and you can't even.
They can't even get a phone call.
Can't get a phone call. Can't get anything going. I mean, let's just be real. Like
Hopkins
and all that.
Hopkins.
Like a Bobby Wagner actually had.
And Bobby Wagner is fourth in the league right now in tackle still.
And yet LVE, that's a whole. LVE is your backup as you're that position. So it's just like, yeah, it's there's just a lot of frustration when there's people willing to do it and you won't even because they're not signing for breadcrumbs. I don't want to bring them in here. It's just like, dude, come on, man. You're treating it like a store, instead of treating it like a team that needs to win a championship. You're treating it like a profit that you need to show your stakeholders, and you're treating it like a family business. So let's be real, man.
Oh my God! You know what he's running the team like? The guy who goes to 7-Eleven for wine. That's exactly what he's doing. When it comes to players, I'm just going to run into 7-Eleven and I'm going to grab me a bottle of wine. I'm just going to run into 7-Eleven and grab me a defensive tackle and a wide receiver. I'll be right back.
We're all living in Howie vision.
I'm sorry. As much as it pains me to say, I don't know how you expect to compete when I don't know how he is able to get these players and trade all the stuff that he trades and still get it up underneath the cap. And here it is, we're always in cap hell with bums.
Well, the cap boy, I'll be nice, but, he's a chemical engineer. He's smart, but he can't get contracts done in a timely fashion since he's the one running the team. We can't get a contract in a timely fashion. We got to let the players dictate everything. Sometimes, how they identify who they're going to give a contract to, I don't know. What do they just pick out numbers out of a hat? Oh, we're going to give Michael Gallup a new deal. It's like.
Shout out to you, Kathy. What's up, Kathy?
I mean,
they probably use the Google calculator, NFL calculator.
It's just crazy. They're trying to outsmart
calculator.
themselves. Sometimes the best move is to do the obvious move. And, don't stop trying to be the smartest guy in the room.
Lola says the Eagles sold their soul. I'd be okay with us selling our soul for a Super Bowl.
That's the thing. It's been so long. I'm selling souls.
You did it for Namath. Remember that? No,
did it for Namath.
Yeah, the little Nicky, Dan Marino's in front of the devil. And he's like trying to get a Super Bowl. He's like, "No, sorry, Dan, you're such a nice guy. I can't do it to you." He's like, "You did it for Namath." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a Jets fan too," or something like that.
It's funny. It's Logan. It's how far we have come. Howie was literally a laughing stock. Howie lost his job. Howie lost his job under Chip Kelly, and he was errand boy. And to his credit, he stuck it out. He still can't draft. I mean, listen, Jalen Carter, anybody can make that draft pick. He's still not a very good drafter. He has some good draft picks.
Yeah, but look at
most
it.
people will tell you that he's not the best evaluator of talent. Like all we heard is how the great Eli Ricks. Have you watched the film on Eli Ricks? He's friggin' horrendous. Okay, he can't get on this bad defensive backfield. Eli Ricks can't get much playing time because he's that bad. So let's slow it down with Howie vision. What he does is he
makes great trades.
He makes trades.
I think Howie watches YouTube and listens to the content creators.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that'd be real. I think that is. I mean, that's what he sees. Picking more.
He's always getting the big name guys like Nakobe Dean. Now, Nakobe Dean is not a good player.
He may go on IR for the second time, in which case he may not be coming back.
He's average at best.
He's a future commander.
Oh yeah. So that's just anybody could have picked Jalen Carter. He was the number 1 rated player. He dropped because of his off the field issues. Nolan Smith, we haven't seen much of. He's an undersized guy. He fits in certain schemes. He wouldn't have fit. That's the one thing. Be positive. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Sam Williams. We need to see more of that. He needs more playing time. He either needs to play himself more into the lineup or play himself out. Philadelphia Eagles, first team to start 8-1 or better in consecutive seasons. I missed that. How about C.J. Stroud? Maybe that would have been a good move, huh?
The Cowboys were intrigued by that.
470 yards and 5 TDs. Give me some Stroud. Under a rookie deal. Yeah, Andre Richardson. Jerry make no moves at the trade deadline, but that goes out and signs a wide receiver who's been out of the league. Yeah, that's an exact move by the Cowboys. Because we want to be relevant at the draft. We don't want to give up our picks. We want people talking about who are the Cowboys. Who are the Cowboys going to draft? Because we could sell some draft hats. We could sell some more merch during that draft. That's what it's about. It's all about that. If we ever win a championship, it'll be in spite of Catboys.
You got that right.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. And then they're going to try and swoop in like they did with Jimmy Johnson and take the credit.
Man, I have to say, you just ripped my heart out tonight, man. You just fucked me over. Excuse me, messed me up. I'm not saying the F word.
I'm just bringing up the.
Yeah, you about making me lose my religion here.
I don't know, man.
I thought it was a good conversation. It's just my frustration that I see.
It's my frustration looking at the team and thinking about the players.
That being said,
players that have deserved to have better than what they've gotten from the Joneses, and
they're not going anywhere. That's the scary.
That's and I just sit here and I think about Jimmy Johnson and everything that he did for this organization, and being trashed basically by Jerry Jones the way he is. And that somehow we think the guys that thought Paxton Lynch and Johnny Manziel were viable quarterbacks for us, that we think that they should be, and Connor Cook, that they should be picking all the talent on here and saying we got enough to work with, when you think Johnny Manziel is going to be a great quarterback.
Well, and everybody anoints Dallas as this great drafting team. Okay, and all we hear is, "Wow, we got we're the best drafting team." And I know what Phil says, and he's right. It takes years. But you need to have more. We literally have nobody playing from this past year's draft.
Our kicker.
Was he a draftee?
Well, he's part of the draft class. He's a rookie.
First round pick, Mozzie. He plays very sparingly. Second round pick, Luke Schoonmaker. He's starting to get involved.
It takes luck to win a Super Bowl. Sometimes we need luck to call here. And yeah, you're right about that, Walker Wade. Yeah. Shout out to Wade. Wade, you know what, Wade? You cool people, man. You are always here and supporting the channel. I really appreciate you, dude. Did I say booed? Booed? It's like a guy booed. I think you got me all fucked up here, Brian. Excuse me,
Dude,
Dad.
what
I hope my
do?
dad's.
We're just having a
Nah, man.
conversation.
You know, you just messed me up, man. I was feeling good about I got the front of the house painted.
I said we're winning 5 in a row.
I got, the wife has been doing some incredible things and organizing downstairs. So, it's going to rain tonight. So I'll be in here sanding up the floors, getting ready for Thanksgiving. And then our friend of ours, I found out that the Springfield butcher, that they actually have the turduckens made.
Nice.
So I was like, maybe I should get a turducken this year, for Thanksgiving.
Like John Madden.
Right, and be like John Madden and honor him and stuff and all. And then, I was feeling good, man. I was feeling really, really good. It's a good thing I ain't got a dog right now, because I might have to kick him or something. The way you got me feeling now, you got me depressed.
Nobody's trying to get you depressed.
You got me. You got it made up that my quarterback is just a greedy SOB and he's got to go and he's the root of all of our problems. That if we just got rid of Dak Prescott and got a guy cheap, that we'd be okay. That's the way it came across to me, man.
No, you're just upset that I'm not endorsing him up and down. I said I'm a Cowboys fan, not necessarily a Dak Prescott fan.
Dak is good enough to win a Super Bowl.
I want to win a Super Bowl. If it's with Trey Lance, go get it done. If it's with Dak,
you ain't getting it with Trey. You know how you're gonna get it done with Trey Lance? You're gonna need to bring in some more talent, because guess what? He's gonna need shit perfect too.
You're already paying him pittance. That's the whole idea.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You can if you're only paying him 20-25 million.
And when you put him out there and you find out he's ass, and now you have no quarterback.
Win, just like
and guess what? Now you have no quarterback, and you're gonna have to go out and try and bring another one in.
Do what the Eagles did.
Oh shit! Okay.
I mean, the good teams go out.
They ain't gonna hold it. Their Eagles fuck up in the draft and they go out and say, you know what, we screwed up. Let's do something about it. This team, here's how stupid this team is. You got somebody who's performing on the field in Amari Cooper, and you know what? Because you didn't like the way he ended up handling something, we're gonna go ahead and get rid. We gonna spite our nose. Or whatever the term. You got me so much I can't remember the term. But you're gonna cut off your nose to spite your face, yeah, right? And then you turn around and say, you know what? We're gonna kick Michael Gallup and we're gonna pay him, and he's gonna be great and all that. And we're gonna draft a guy in the 3rd round because he's one of the best ones out there.
Bobby.
And then you expect them to do great. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Listen, just look at your chat. Everybody's agreeing with me.
Brian brings some negative vibes. Brian is a realist. But here's the thing. I'm keep telling you.
I'm just keeping it real.
And when you go ahead and say, you know what, Dak was too much money, it's going to be like Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, he can't, as the Joneses say, well, you can't pay everybody. True, but they thought he was overpaid and got rid of him.
No, that was all BS. It had nothing to do with the money. It was all, what it was over. He wasn't a team guy. He didn't take the jab.
You know what's crazy is when you think about some of the shit that you hear from Stephen Jones. Remember after the Rams won the Super Bowl?
Jones, that's your boy.
But Stephen Jones said, we don't believe that what the Rams doing is the right way to build a team. Didn't they just win the Super Bowl, bro? Didn't they literally just won the Super Bowl, and you're saying that they don't know what the F they're doing, but you do, and you haven't in 28 years. Do I have that correct?
I'm just in a mood tonight of just...
Are you thinking about Black Friday and that it's just going to be...
You sit up here and go, wow, everything's great.
I didn't say everything is great.
I'm just throwing out another point of view. That's all. That's all I'm doing. Don't be too upset. We're fine. It's just, if you're saying that he deserves the highest dollar, then it
I
probably
didn't say
won't
he
be in
did.
Dallas.
But
that's all I'm saying.
But if you're telling me
the body of work
that, okay, I got two options. I can give you money back and you're not going to do anything with it to help make the team better, or I can take the money. Which one are you going to do?
He's going to take the money.
Thank you. What would you do?
I would take the money. I would
Okay,
leave.
then why are we blaming him for something that
But
you
I
would
told
do?
you he's going to leave. Why are you mad at me?
Well, and quite frankly, if he doesn't sign a deal, it may not be because the Joneses didn't offer him one. It may be, you know what, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of them always blaming and pointing the finger at me and not doing what other teams do to try and help their team.
I never see that as his personality. I don't.
No, but seriously, because at some point you have to say, what is my legacy going to be? I've been to Dallas Cowboys. I've broken all kinds of records and everything else. I got paid. I ended up being NFL Man of the Year. The only thing I need now to solidify myself as great is a Super Bowl ring. And the Joneses aren't going to do what it takes for me to get one, so I've got to look out for me.
But they talk about how much they want to, but they refuse to do it. That's where I'm like, it's just frustrating. All I was trying to say was, I
talk
think
is
there's a way
cheap.
For him to get his money, and also
You remember
be
Jerry's
creative with the contract.
You remember Jerry saying, you know, if it was about writing a check for the Super Bowl, I'd write me a biggest check. Really?
I actually don't buy that.
That's bullshit.
That's a lie.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
because you've had chances where guys want to come here that are difference makers, that are better than what you have, and you won't even talk to them.
Yeah, that check you're writing, everybody else can write the same exact check. So it's like with a salary cap. So you need to be able to bring something else of value to the table in order to get players.
William, I love.
Shout out to you, Eddie. Because someone is being critical of the team doesn't mean that they are a fan or supporting the team. We're being critical because the Cowboys are not doing what it takes to win. Right. Trade deadline. And exactly, right. Xavier. Eagles moved on from Wentz. Rand moves off of Golf and moved on from Jimmy G. It happens. It's true. That's true. But here's the thing, though. When they moved off of them, they had actually another plan but was viable.
Oof.
Like I see the Cowboys as the Cowboys because obviously the Jones, you know, that whole structure of it. But when I look at this team, I feel this team is different.
Derek Young, shout out to you.
You know, I thought this team was a playoff team. It's just what will they do? I mean, we see all the holes and stuff that they have to change, and they didn't do anything during deadline. But that again, that's the structure. That's just what the culture is because of the ownership. Yeah, and it's just. Unfortunately, that's something I have to deal with right now. It's just you have a coach in the defense that actually can kind of bypass and get his way and get some players that he wants.
They want to win it their way.
Yeah.
And they're not going to waver. So they will go 50 years not winning. But when they finally win it their way, they'll say, I told you so.
And then they'll give Jimmy the Ring of Honor.
Yeah. That's a good point. They'll probably give him put him in the ring after they win one when he has nothing to do with it. Because Jerry don't like hearing the 1995.
Right, Eddie. He's just talking to be talking.
Huh?
No, Eddie said, damn, why isn't he writing that check? Don't know, man.
Yeah, Eddie, we just need to play good in the playoffs, get hot. I mean, we're not going to have everybody. No team does. I would say the most healthiest team was probably last year's Eagle team, and I would say Jalen was a little banged up. But they were about as healthy as you could be, and they still didn't get it done. So there's, you just got to go.
Eddie, I've seen that. See, thank you, Eddie. Okay?
Eddie.
The team is so close to winning. We just need like 3 to 5 pieces. That's all I'm saying.
Pieces. That's a lot of pieces.
But he's wrong. He's not wrong, man.
He's not.
That is very correct. I mean, you could use 2 on the offensive line, a running back, a linebacker, some, defensive tackles. Yeah, man.
What if we had signed Bobby Wagner 2 years ago? Right?
We could have signed.
He was interested in coming here, right? What if we had signed Hopkins this offseason because he was interested in coming here?
Hey, I told you I loved Hopkins.
Okay,
Dak, perfect for Dak.
If you put those two guys right now on this team, you're not telling me that this isn't a Super Bowl team?
It is.
And those are two guys
that snatch it out of the air when it's not right there.
Yes.
His catch radius is sick. Again, you know, it's not Dak's fault. I would definitely agree with you. All I was
So,
saying was just give him counterpoint.
let me
If
say
he wants to
how
hold out Dak's money. It won't be his
effing.
fault.
See, let's just think about this for 1 second here. For 1 second, DeAndre Hopkins' cap number for this year is $3.6 million. And next year's only 15.9.
Dak ain't him.
Okay.
It is a lot of pieces, but
So
now you can at least build around those pieces.
You understand what I'm saying? You didn't have to give him any draft capital for Hopkins. Didn't he get released?
Yeah,
He was a free agent.
Yes.
But at the time, wasn't he also
Again.
16, 17 million?
What you want and what you settle for. But remember, this is a guy who wanted to come to your house.
He closed the door, man.
But right now, you look at that, think about that production with CD. Okay? Bobby Wagner. He wanted to come here before going to the Rams. You had the connection there. No, we believe in Leighton Vander Esch, right? Let's look and see what Bobby's number is.
My thing is this: I would just much rather get a dominating defense because I don't trust us to be able to use any of these offensive weapons. We have enough offensive weapons. You guys may not think so, but we have.
Well, it's not the weapons I'm concerned with. It's the line. That's, again, the
I
offensive
know,
part is
but
the
I mean,
line. It's not Dak.
Hopkins,
it's
running
line.
back. That's not going to make a difference. We're not using Cooks. He's wide open.
Okay. Bobby Wagner is only a $5.5 million hit.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm just saying, we're not willing to go for guys like this to try and help our team. We're not willing to do, and I'm saying it's a year too late or 2 years late, but a guy like Ndamukong
You
Suh,
can say it every single. Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
He's right there. He's there. I mean,
Blow up the team, windows closed, and it needs too many pieces.
Window ain't
So
closed.
you want to blow it up,
Young.
and you're trusting the Joneses to find yourself
take my-
okay.
you're on the uphill. Like,
Yeah, we're here to
It's not the downhill part of it.
look. We're here to have a debate and bring up the uncomfortable argument. At the end of the day, I'm ready to roll this week. Let's go, Dak. I'm just getting into the contract part. It gets a little frustrating because I don't necessarily agree with,
Yeah, he is dying.
Yeah, there's nothing
Finish
wrong
his
with that.
career
We
there.
could disagree about a philosophy of a player, and maybe not taking the top dollar to win a Super Bowl. But,
But we
But-
all know.
but look at the guys out there, though. Hold
Hold
it.
Better than Jerry. So.
But hold on. Didn't everybody basically all the last 4 contracts take more money after Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert?
yeah, but
And
Jalen
that-
Hurts just went to a Super Bowl.
Okay, all right.
I'm
And
just
lost.
saying, if Dak were to get to a Super Bowl, how can we
But
argue?
guess what they did though, bro?
What?
They structured it so they could do other moves to continue
But
bringing people
and I
in.
know. And I know that's coming. That hit is coming.
It's not coming for another 3 years. If they win another Super Bowl between now and then, I think they'd be happy about that. Because
No, I know.
Yeah,
I
this
know.
year, next
okay,
year.
it's all a gamble. If you say okay, we can win the Super Bowl this year, but then the next 2 years we're going to be ass. Would you take that? I'd take that in a heartbeat.
But
I
if
would,
we had the same
yeah.
roster, then
I would
love
take
the
that in a heartbeat as opposed to being mediocre, make the playoffs, lose, maybe win a game and lose. I'd take a Super Bowl in a couple losing years. I'd be okay with that. Can't believe the Bears are going to win this game. The Bears.
16-13. Yeah, Vinny, that's all I was trying to say. Maybe, I would just like a little flexibility. Pay him his money. It's just we're going to have to stretch it out, and we'll have to pay the piper at some point. That's what you're going to have to do. That's all. He'll get his money. just how Mark said it, like he should hold out for the top dollar.
I did not say no. I did not say he
that
should.
happens-
See, now you're putting words in my mouth, Brian. Don't be putting words in my mouth, bro. I said no. I said it's like Jerry. You know what? I'm gonna give you the home team discount. What you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it? If you're not gonna do shit with it, if you're not going to try and say, you know what, Dak, we're going to make sure that you have a good running game. We want to make sure that you got a good offensive line. Okay, then why would I take a pay cut?
Nobody said pay cut.
Well, pay cut. You're gonna get more money than you got.
I don't
this
understand
year.
what you mean by pay cut.
Okay, you keep saying take
more
top.
than what he made this year. Is that
Oh
good?
Lordy! And you know what? Are
You act like I'm telling him he's gonna.
Do you
make
think he
20
should
million.
continue to get paid what Daniel Jones is getting paid? Do you think he should
You're gonna
continue?
buy one, get 1 year.
Hold
Come
it.
on, man.
Do you think he should continue to get paid what Daniel Jones is getting paid?
He's gonna blow Daniel
Yeah.
Jones out of the
Yeah, exactly.
water.
Look,
I know
Lola says for me to time you out.
that. Time me out, Lola.
Oh
That
man.
mutes him though. I don't think that mutes him.
What makes me think the Bears are going to win? Because it's been 3 downs already. 2 downs already at third and at first and 10, second and 10, and now third and 10. Carolina looks like ass.
Okay.
And look,
Me, Logan.
look, and almost threw an interception. That's why I say the Bears. These two teams are in F. It's 4th and 10. Are they going to try a extremely long field goal here?
Sorry, people. Yeah, he's gonna get paid. It's just the way you made it sound like he's got to. Why should he take $1 less?
Well, if the Cowboys were worried about,
he's gonna get paid.
then they
probably
should
on
have.
average of
They should
$55
have done the
million a year.
deal sooner. They should have went to him and said,
well, I could agree with you there.
Oh, kicking the field goal. It's gonna be like a 59-yard field goal.
Primetime Phil's the
Is it?
mediator between us.
"Nope,
I get it.
not even close.
Hey, you
Not
gotta-
even close." So somebody was saying I didn't know what I was
Point
talking about the
counterpoint.
Bears
I think
winning.
This is probably a volatile a point counterpoint. It's volatile right there. Fuck you.
Oh, I don't think I have that one here, but I can play this one.
Did he miss it? He missed it, right?
Yeah, he missed it there.
What? Why do we get a wide receiver? Why do we get a wide receiver? Don't tell me. Are you? Why do we get a wide receiver?
Oh, they got two. Oh, damn, he a dog though. Oh, shit, he is a dog.
Wide receiver.
That's a good pick, though.
Yeah, we got the Giants this weekend. So at least there's that. And we got 1:31 left in this shit fest. Yay! And now I can take my depressed ass to bed.
Oh, stop it. Come on.
You didn't cut me off at the knees, right?
Nobody cuts you.
You cut me off at the knees and then poured salt on them. You drug me around town with no knees and everything, man. Damn.
Mark seems like he's about to go off. I'm waiting for it. He's gonna yell at me like
I'm not going to yell at you.
he's gonna yell. He's gonna hang up on me like he did with what's his name.
I'm not, hang up
I'm out
on
of here.
you. Chill.
Fuck you. I'm gone.
Oh, that was a
What did he
night.
do? He just said he didn't want Dak to make $60 million. He won't give him the 55.
Chuck.
How dare he?
Brian, tell him us. Look, Chuck is saying, Brian, tell us how much you hate Dak or why you hate Dak so much.
I don't hate Dak. That's the thing. I love Dak.
Oh, boy. You basically said he's a greedy SOB, man.
No, I didn't. I said
You
you're
did.
a greedy SOB.
Mark,
Dak is not the greedy one. You are.
I'm the greedy one?
I'm joking.
My broke ass is the greedy one? Are you kidding me?
He's sitting there watching it saying, Mark don't know. I'll take 55.
Mark done messed it up for me.
What are you doing?
Oh,
No,
shit.
I just think that, his agent would be nice to be able to allow it to stretch it out a little bit. I'm hearing he wants a 3-year deal. I'm like, I don't understand that. That's not going to give us any flexibility.
All right,
But
Eddie
anyway,
B.
enough of
Appreciate
that.
you, bro.
Enough of that. Dak's like we need Dak for right now. We don't have any.
37 Bears get the first down. It's definitely over.
Alfonso, I love Dak. Why do you act like I don't like Dak?
I don't know, bro. I didn't feel much love from you for Dak tonight, man.
Invited you, party pooper.
I'm gonna ask Primetime Phil, our moderator here. Did you see any love in in the conversation from him?
I was going back and forth, man. You guys were. I didn't want to get in the middle of it and be like the person that you ain't. I get some of that deflective hate there. So I was just like, I didn't want to be associated with you at primetime. You and Mark, and like, it's like I wasn't doing anything. Exactly, you weren't doing anything about it. You just let him do it. Like,
Yeah, I've learned that one. Don't ever get in the middle of a couple. You know, you take one side and all that, then they decide they're going to get back together. You know, we wouldn't have any problems if he just stopped meddling. It's like, you came to me. What the hell? So it's like, no, I'm not in it. Y'all go right
I would
ahead.
take the money all day, Alfonso. I was just saying maybe restructure. I keep hearing they only want a 3-year deal. Well, that tells me that you're not going to be able to hide any of the money.
well, I would take him the 3-year deal, and then that's it. I don't want, maybe he's not finishing his career there.
But like
I would
every
take that
other
other
great
3 deal.
player we've had in history, that we have to pay. You have to pay the piper.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want Dak Prescott, you're going to have to make it a 3. You're going to have to backload a shit ton of money.
Or
and
incentives or
guarantee it.
something, man. Just
I mean, you're
maybe
gonna
throw
have
some
to,
incentives in
like-
there. And
Like this year, we got 59 point something coming up. Now we need to push that down the road and restructure the deal or whatever. And there's at the end of his career, there's going to be that balloon year, like there is with every great player.
But again, if you hadn't paid Jalen Smith, that big, if you hadn't said, we're not going to reset the market with the Zeke Elliott,
Every time you bring up Jalen, he didn't do that.
I'm just saying, but okay, how about Zeke Elliott? You made him the highest paid running back in the history of football.
Poor Jalen. The guy's not even playing football, and
He just signed with somebody.
taking swipes at him. Yeah,
No.
he signed with.
Somebody. He just signed with somebody like last week again.
Yeah, exactly.
And mind you,
This poor guy.
he's rich, bitch. Okay, all right. He's rich, bitch. Okay.
Don't feel too bad.
I was like, seriously.
That makes a lot of sense. Jerry, I don't think Jerry Jones wants to pay any quarterback, let alone Dak Prescott, $60 million. I think they cringe at the thought.
They're making money hand over fist. Seriously.
I know.
You don't have a 350-foot long yacht and you're broke. Okay? I ain't got enough money for a freaking
Chuck.
canoe.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Okay? He's got a his and her helicopter. Okay? You were talking about your friend, sending the helicopter. He's got a blue and a white one. Okay? He flies in on one, she flies in on one. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right.
Okay?
Crazy.
They got the most valuable franchise in the world. You think that really paying Dak Prescott, which is NFL money, which is revenue shared, which they all are printing money, especially just from the gambling? You think it really is going to hurt him? I mean, what does it mean? He's not going to he can only get one bottle of wine when he goes to 7-Eleven instead of 4?
I don't think it's the money.
It's the principle.
I don't think it's the actual money. I think it's he wants to win it his way.
Yeah, well, guess
That's
what?
the bottom line.
He
So
ain't
as long
gonna-
as
ain't
they're
gonna
in
happen.
control, we're not winning shit. Now, all that being said, I think we have a shot this year. So, let's go Cowboys.
After all, Brian, fuck you.
was all a
You don't
game,
put me through all that. Fuck you.
It was just a game. We were trying to get through the
Jeez.
3 hours of shit, and I thought it was entertaining.
So you've been fucking with me all night?
I think we're fine. Did I not say we're going to win the next 5? If I hated us, I wouldn't have said that.
You've
So,
been
it's
fucking with me all night.
I thought it was
You
very entertaining, right?
Dirty
I thought it was.
mother humper.
Mark was getting worked up. Phil, I was just like, I was giving.
Look, Lola's like, mute him, Mark, mute him.
No, not me.
You know what?
Not me.
I have the desire to come up to your house, drive that 4 hour, 5 hour drive, and just smack you, and then turn around and come back home.
I probably have to at least do a couple of things while you're here.
Oh, come fix some shit, right? Oh, okay.
Hey, you
Hey,
didn't
Mark,
beat
why
my
are
ass.
you taking that
I
leaky
need some plumbing
faucet?
there.
Jackass. All right, so
All right,
we
well,
made
it
it through
was
the
wonderful.
game. Jeez, I am so exhausted now. I am really you literally zapped the life out of
Dude.
me.
You just don't like being asked the tough questions.
Yeah, I feel like now I feel like cramps are coming on in my legs and shit after all that. Damn,
I feel horrible. If that makes you feel any better, that's probably why.
damn.
I was telling Phil, I'm really not feeling well before I went on here. I took some Tylenol. I think it's allergies. So I'm not feeling the best. So maybe
So you took
that's
it out
what
on me?
was.
Oh, okay.
I just
get
thought
it.
I thought it was good to. I thought it was good. So it is what it is.
Seeing Mark Holmes go off, okay, and we sure will see a replay on somebody's channel, okay. Mark Holmes goes off on one of his guests.
Somebody likes it.
Oh boy! All right. So with that being
Phil's like, just
said,
end it. For Christ's sake, just end it.
please just Phil's like,
right,
just let me
listen,
go.
people.
How did I get stuck
I will
in
be
this?
at work tomorrow. Shout out to 35. Let me get this. Bobby Murphy. Mark's going to make fireside video about this tonight, Brian. Yeah, I know. I'll be no good. Oh, Chuck. Shout out, my man. 1999 super chat.
Look, Lola says
Brian, do we
couples
need to revoke
problems.
your Cowboys fan card? You know you're supposed to pick on old people. You're not supposed to pick on old. I'm almost his age. man. I'm almost his age, believe it or not.
Rhonda says you were pissing in our Cheerios. Lola says mute his ass. Marcus Blackner says shut his mic off, Mark. People weren't happy with you today, Brian.
It's all LOL.
Oh boy.
Being negative will make you feel like that, Brian.
Jeff Lee says we need a room. Ooh.
Okay. Thank you.
No. Brian's cool people, but he ain't that cool. Okay.
Listen, it was all fun and games. At the end of the day, we're rooting for the
Brian,
same
guys,
side.
Chuck with the 19.
I know,
super chat.
Yeah, I read it.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah, it's delaying on mine then.
Thanks, Chuck, buddy. I really appreciate it. With all seriousness, obviously I want Dak here long term. I just hope that they can somehow work it out. I hope his agent doesn't want the top dollar. I hope we can make it work with the contract. And let's just make sure that's what I want. But let's put it this way. This debate will continue until we find out what's happening.
Yep.
So
One way or
that being
another.
said, it's been fun.
All right. And with that being said, I'm going to mute my mic over there.
All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow to my lunchtime chat. Primetime Phil, could you say your goodbyes and, let everybody know where we could find you?
Yeah, man. If I appreciate everybody coming through. I was very entertained. I kind of just sat back and kind of listened on because if I jumped in there, I was pissing somebody off and it was going to be deflected towards me. So, but it made
Smartest
the
guy in the
Thursday.
room.
It made the Thursday night. Mark's like, it made the Thursday night a lot more entertaining. You kind of, in the
Trigger my
background, there's a
emotions.
football game happening, so that was awesome. So I appreciate everybody. But yeah, YouTube Primetime Phil, man. Yeah, check us out. We go on Saturday, preview the game, and then usually after the game as well.
All right, everybody. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Go Cowboys.
All right, good people. That's it. That is a wrap. The Bears got the big win. And it's like, Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Hopefully our Cowboys find a way to get a win this weekend, big time, and stay healthy and just start getting on a roll. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, for our regular live stream. And I'll see you there.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire.